You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Waking up to rain on the radar right now, and also some wind that has picked up overnight. How long this lasts and the best timing for a few more thunderstorms later today in your forecast.
Covenant School parents are at odds this morning with a state lawmaker as he's pushing for the school's shooter's writings to be released. We'll tell you more about that. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning, just after 4 a.m. I'm Justin McFarland. We're going to get started with severe weather happening down in Texas. That is where a tornado hit a Houston suburb early yesterday. The National Weather Service says that it was an EF1 tornado that hit Katy, Kentucky, with winds of around 90 miles per hour. This morning, we're seeing footage of that damage. You can see the roofs being torn off of businesses and homes. This is after that severe weather swept through much of the South on yesterday. So to talk about exactly what we are facing, let's get now to Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus. We are not Code Red this morning, Greg.
We are not. We actually dropped Code Red around 5:30 yesterday because of what happened in the South. The far South saw multiple tornado warnings, multiple severe thunderstorms. They took all the energy out of the atmosphere to give severe weather potential to us here back home. But you can see there's still a lot of action all around us on the radar here when it comes to the southeast and just the South in general. For us back home, zooming in on our local radar, there have been some showers over the last 3 hours, so wet pavement out there for sure this morning. Some areas of ponding expected. Not much happening in Middle Tennessee right now, but Southern Kentucky absolutely working through some rain showers to kick off the very early hours here this morning. We're not done. We'll get a few more bands of rain that move in throughout the morning and this afternoon. Our far northeastern tier of counties had the chance for 1 or 2 storms that could pop up late morning into early afternoon. Here is the current radar. We take the motion away from it. Cumberland Plateau, a couple of showers out there. Most of our rain, though, is pivoting into southern Kentucky and far northwestern Middle Tennessee. Not much happening in the Nashville area right now. No severe weather likely for today. We've kind of gotten the atmosphere rid of most of those ingredients that we need. Heavy morning rainfall, though. It'll come in the little pockets you just saw on the radar, and there will be areas of standing water and potential flooding by the end of today we have to watch out for, but nothing that puts us back into a code red weather alert, which is very good for us here to kick off the morning. Severe weather potential is now focusing off to the east coast and into areas like West Virginia and Virginia toward Pennsylvania as well. So well away from us. It has already passed us up. Taking a look, 65 degrees later on this afternoon. This morning, though, it is windy. You're going to get jostled around a little bit driving in to wherever you're going because we have wind gusts up near 25 to 35 miles per hour and temperatures that are hanging tight right near 60 degrees.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get us started here at I-40 at Donaldson Pike as you make that drive into town. There from the east side, as you can see near the airport, we're doing just fine. No big problems in either direction out there so far this morning. Of course, if something does change, we've got you covered with Steer Clear Traffic live and local with you through 9. An update to an endangered child alert out of Knoxville this morning. As 3 children are now reported missing. Now, the TBI says that a 20-month-old named Jasley Collins and her 4-year-old named Joshua Hollins are both reported missing. They could be with their non-custodial mother, Tiara Shelton. She is wanted by the TBI for custodial interference. Knoxville police now say her oldest son, Raymond McAlpin, is also missing from Knoxville and could be with her as well. If you have any information about where they may be, you're asked to contact the TBI, 1-800-TBI-FIND. An update this morning is police are searching for 2 people who pulled up to the scene of a deadly crash yesterday. Now, this all took place here. You can take a look at the scene. We brought you this story yesterday as breaking news when I-24 was shut down at Harding Place early yesterday morning. Police say that a 19-year-old named Cavantia Lane died in that crash around 2:30 a.m. They say Lane's car veered off of the westbound lanes of the interstate across the grass and into a wooded area and briefly went airborne. Police say video from the area shows 2 people drove to the scene of the crash, went into the wrecked vehicle twice, and then left. The investigation is now ongoing. We have continuing coverage this morning as a Covenant school families are now suing to keep anyone from seeing the shooter's writings, have filed an ethics complaint against a state lawmaker. Now, what we're talking about here is who they're targeting. They're targeting Senator Todd Gardenhire, of Chattanooga. He's among those suing to make the records public. He's also sponsoring a bill that would keep third parties like parents from having the standing to file a lawsuit in the public records cases like this. Arguments in the original suit over the shooter's writings will be heard next week. Well, coming up, one mid-state community is facing a jump in rental fraud. We're going to tell you how detectives say you can spot scammers. And some
family.
So which one of you is better suited for farm life?
How soon do you feel like you guys are ready to have kids?
Oh my God.
Can I tell you who my favorite is?
Who?
Tonight at 8 on Fox 17.
.408 is the time here on this Thursday morning in Operation Crime and Justice. An alarming trend in the city of Franklin, where according to local police, they are seeing an uptick in rental schemes, leaving some people stranded without a home and without thousands of dollars.
I would start with the price and make sure that it lines up with other properties.
That is a detective for the Franklin Police Department who says more and more people are now falling victim to fraudulent rental property listings. Most of them are found on Facebook Marketplace. The detective says an imposter will upload convincing photos or ads online of apartments or townhomes that could be for rent, then is asking for money up front of what would be a security deposit or an application fee.
They make it appear that they are the ones taking the pictures. They're the ones in control. They're the ones that have the authority to lease this property out, when in reality, they might not have never stepped foot in that neighborhood, let alone Tennessee.
The detective says many people don't know it's a scheme until they are ready to move in. To avoid this kind of a situation, the detective suggests not doing business with sellers who only communicate through text or email, and is asking for advance payments through apps like Venmo or perhaps other cash apps out there. Well, the future of a critical national security surveillance program is now in limbo. This is after a group of hardline conservatives tanked a vote to debate a bill to reauthorize it. 19 Republicans joined in with Democrats in voting against the renewing of Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, known as FISA. Now, it allows the government to spy on foreigners abroad, but also includes their interactions with Americans. Most Republicans want to renew it, with reforms adding a warrant requirement, including House Speaker Mike Johnson. But a handful who voted no claim that this whole thing falls short of what they want.
If he funds the deep state and the warrantless spying on Americans, he's telling Republican voters all over the country that the continued behavior will happen more, spying on President Trump and spying on hundreds of thousands of Americans.
These reforms would actually kill the abuses that allowed President Trump's campaign to be spied on.
Intelligence officials say that the FISA is necessary to disrupt terror attacks and cyber intrusions. It will expire on April the 19th if Congress does not act. In your community this morning, a Mount Juliet police officer acted fast and saved a man's life yesterday, and it was recognized online. A post from Coach A on X thanking the Mount Juliet Police Department who brought, he says, my father-in-law back to life today at a Waffle House parking lot. I would like to thank you in person. Thank you so very much. Now, the department responded saying that Corporal Filosky was the officer who acted in the medical emergency and is offering prayers for that man's recovery.
Coming up, here we are just 4:11, but we're still seeing a few areas of some decent rainfall out there, heavy at times. A few afternoon storms will track for you, and then finally look ahead to some drier weather for the weekend.
And steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Dallas and Pike. We're looking really good there. We're going to check in on some other areas of town.
Systems, generators, and water filtration systems.
Thank you so much. I win.
Call the Happy Face truck today.
4:14. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Live look there over downtown Nashville, Tennessee. We are looking a little drippy out there. A few rain showers pushing their way through the area, but we're not done with them quite yet. Greg Bobus will give us the details on your non-code red forecast. Still some things to watch out for. Well, new this morning, a Metro Schools employee is now accused of attacking a student. An arrest warrant says that Sullivan Baker was filling in as a substitute teacher back in October when he shoved a 13-year-old student against the wall. Now, the warrant claims that the teenager was not listening to Baker's instructions. According to the warrant, the teen hit his head against the wall. Police say that Baker admitted to pinning the student. Now he is charged with assault and is set to appear before a judge coming up on April 22nd. We're taking a look at more severe weather video from across the nation. This video is from Pace, Florida. That is in the Florida Panhandle. That's where severe storms damaged buildings and vehicles on yesterday. You can see the downed trees and power lines there in that area. It got really, really tough out there with a lot of damage just like this across that region. So what about us? Let's get into that forecast with Greg Bobus, who's standing by.
Yeah, we were code red yesterday at this time.
Yeah.
We dropped it late in the afternoon. You're going to keep seeing video throughout this entire morning of areas of the south that had wind damage, tornado damage. They took everything out of the atmosphere and just took it down south. So for us, there has been some heavy rain. There will continue to be pockets of heavy rain, even a few thunderstorms that we can't rule out, especially late morning into early afternoon. We'll have to watch our northeasternmost counties. We could have one or two stronger storms. Nothing to prompt us into code red, but absolutely the possibility of some standing water or isolated flooding in a few areas. Taking a look at the general picture here on Future Track, very hit and miss this morning. We did have a decent band of some rain moving a few hours ago that tracked through the Nashville area. Everything we're going to see on radar this morning will start from the bottom of our screen and lift to the top. So we're going to go from south to northeast this time around, which is a little bit different. So usually you see left side of the screen to right. That is not going to be today's weather pattern. This is that timing late morning into early afternoon when one or two storms could give us a little bit of small size hail or some wind. We're not worried about a tornado, not worried about a tornado threat for today that we have to really contend with going into the afternoon. So we are all clear when it comes to code red, but we still want an umbrella this morning into the afternoon, and then we're done. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, they're all going to be dry and much warmer. We flipped the pattern from being cool, damp, and rainy to warm and sunny for Saturday and Sunday. 79 degrees on Saturday, Sunday 82. A few isolated showers and storms next week, but we'll keep our high temperatures in the low 80s for at least the first half, if not 2/3 of next week.
Clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-65 at Trinity Lane. They're on the north side. The traffic camera is freezing up, but the traffic is doing fine. There's no big problems out there in either direction so far this morning. Of course, things can change, and they will, and we've got you covered. But right now, we're all in the green. Mount Juliet at 26 minutes. Murfreesboro, 51 minutes. Hendersonville, 25 minutes there from the north side. If something changes, we'll be sure to let you know. We're new this morning that heavy rain yesterday caused issues across the mid-state as well as to the south, and we went searching for some of those spots who are causing problems here in Nashville. Our Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey is on the scene of at least one flooding area. Kevin is live this morning over in Belle Meade. This is at Evelyn Avenue, and as you can see there, they've got part of that road that is washed out. Now, this is a common occurrence in that Belle Meade Mead community where the rivers and streams there tend to overflow, so much so that sometimes they put in barriers to make sure that that people don't drive through situations like this. So again, this is in Belle Mead on Evelyn Avenue out there. There are other locations like this, especially in Belle Mead. We'll continue to watch things for you out there, but so far no widespread problems, just a couple of isolated spots like this one. Israeli efforts to boost aid into Gaza are not enough. That is the message from President Biden yesterday. Now, he says he's been very blunt and straightforward in his talks with the prime minister there in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. And while the prime minister agrees to several things, including stepping up food and medicine distribution and reducing civilian casualties, President Biden says he's waiting to see the real results.
The fact is that they're getting in somewhere in the last 3 days over 100 trucks. It's not enough, but it needs to be more, and there's one more opening that has to take place in the north. So we'll see what he does in terms of meeting the commitments he made to me.
At the same time, the president reaffirmed the United States' ironclad commitment to protecting Israel in reference to the growing concerns of a possible Iranian attack. Switching gears this morning, this fall, high school girls will be hitting the gridiron as the girls flag football becomes officially sanctioned a Tennessee high school varsity sport. Now on Tuesday, the TSSAA voted to approve the sport, making Tennessee the 10th state to do so. The initiative is backed by the Tennessee Titans, who've been supporting schools since 2022, when Williamson County became the very first program like this. Some other leagues that have gotten started are in the Metro Public School System, as well as Clarksville, Montgomery County schools. 15% of TSSAA member schools are taking part in girls flag football, or at least are committed to starting the program. Well, coming up, the Nashville Predators playoffs. And football is heading south a little bit further.
Medication for type 2 diabetes and weight management, and subsequently suffered injuries. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Bart Durham Injury Law at 615-242-9000 for a free case evaluation.
.423 is the time the Stanley Cup playoffs are returning to Smashville. Full ticket sales are going to be opening up later this morning as the Preds have clinched a playoff spot Tuesday night with an overtime loss to the Winnipeg Jets. Now, they only needed 1 point to clinch the spot, and they took care of business, even though the Jets got the win in OT. So what are the Predators looking forward to so far coming up with this up next season here with the playoffs?
Proud of the process that we believed in. And the confidence we had in trusting what we do. And we don't always get rewarded for it, but we did tonight.
Obviously, to make playoffs is a huge accomplishment. I think we're proud as a group. Guys worked hard for that.
The Preds, in the meantime, will going to continue to finish up the regular season. They will be taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. That game takes place at 7:30. The last home game of the regular season will be taking place Saturday night at Bridgestone Arena, as you take a live look there in Chicago, where the Predators will be taking on the Blackhawks there at the United Center in Chicago. Say football in what we call soccer anyway. They call it football down there. The NFL is hoping to change that, though. They're having week 1 of the 2024 regular season will feature a matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be played down in Brazil. Now, the Eagles will be considered the home team for the league's first ever game down there in South America. It will take place at Corinthians Stadium, which can seat 49,000 people. Social media has helped the American football gain a lot of popularity in Brazil. So we'll see if it works. The NFL is increasing its international games and now requiring each team to play overseas at least once every 4 years. As a reminder, the Titans took on the Baltimore Ravens in London not too long ago.
425 waking up here with radar action in Middle Tennessee. Not much happening just yet. If you're in the Clarksville area, you have a little rainfall right now. Southern Kentucky, you got some decent rain coming down. We had a few bands that were overnight. Morning rainfall is going to continue to be here, and at times it could be a little bit heavy, which could slow us down. Temperatures right side of your screen are in the 60s, and we'll stay at 65 degrees later on this afternoon. A few late morning, early afternoon storms out on the Cumberland Plateau and into southern Kentucky cannot be ruled out. One or two of those could give us some decent wind, and either way, it will be windy from start to finish of today, just given the unsettled weather pattern we've had. Weekend, none of that happening. 79 degrees on Saturday, 82 on Sunday, tons of sunshine both days. Make your plans now, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening. No rain. Finally can say that for a couple of days here starting tomorrow through Saturday and Sunday. The next rain chance after today comes Monday into Tuesday of next week.
Stay clear traffic this morning. Let's get you to I-40 at Spence Lanes. You take a look there just east of downtown. So far, so good. No major slowdowns or tie-ups there on the roads, despite the overnight rain. Typically, sometimes we can see a lot of rain does cause some slowdowns in certain spots out there across the mid-state, but not this morning. This morning, we're doing okay in all directions. We had a lot of crashes yesterday before 6 o'clock, but again, right now, we're doing fine as you get out and about there on the east side and beyond. Well, coming up, a bill could prevent anyone other than a parent from taking a minor to get an abortion across state lines. We'll tell you more about that. Plus, a live look this morning at the BJ's Wholesale. That is over in Goodlettsville. This is one of the new stores very close to the Rivergate Mall. Now, coming up, we're going to take... Help!
Now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Waking up to wet pavement, limited visibility, the wind has picked up, and still some rain on the radar. Tracking the rest of your day when the rain finally turns off, heading toward the weekend.
The aftermath of severe storms across the South that spawned at least 2 tornadoes. Coming up, we're taking a look at the latest video. And a bill that would make it illegal for anyone other than a parent to help a minor get an abortion across state lines. But the bill got a major change just before it passed the Senate. We'll take you there. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland, just after or just before 4:30 here on your Thursday morning, April the 11th. Let's take you down to Louisiana. That's where at least 10 people were hurt after an EF1 tornado swept through the town of Sidell there, which is just across Lake Pontchartrain there as you enter New Orleans. Local police say that no life-threatening injuries happened as a result of that tornado. That tornado did leave behind some catastrophic damage along with downed trees and power lines. The National Weather Service will be surveying that damage today to calculate the storm's wind path and the exact wind speeds. So what about us here in the Mid-State? Greg Bobus has been watching the skies and the radar. He's got the forecast.
That we do and that we have. As far as wind goes here, we're going to have a very breezy day for sure. Everywhere around us, they're seeing wind advisories, which means wind gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour. We're not quite going to get there, but 25 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour can't be ruled out. So very breezy no matter whether you're under the rainfall or not. That is how this morning is going to go. A few places of not concern, but just where we're seeing the rain that has picked up and has moved to the north and to the east. This is not going from left side of your screen to right. It's almost going from the bottom of your screen to the top right-hand side. So Clarksville, getting out toward Oak Grove, Hopkinsville, some decent rainfall. No lightning in this portion of the radar, which is good. This will continue to pull into southern Kentucky and away from Clarksville in the next hour. We'll get a little break, Clarksville. So just deal with it for right now and you'll be okay shortly. I promise you there. And then taking a look here, we have the arrows pointing in the exact same direction, much more isolated. These little cells here with a little bit of lightning embedded within them. So you take a look at Cookeville, Lafayette, not much happening there. Carthage, though, Smithville, and even just exiting recently the Murfreesboro area. What this tells you is all these are real quick movers. There's a lot of wet pavement out there for many of us to start off this morning. What is new? We're all clear. We're not in code red. but these pockets of heavy rainfall this morning are definitely likely, and a few isolated areas of ponding and flooding we'll watch out for throughout this morning, just to make sure that you're not driving into anything that you can't see. Sunrise is still 2 hours away.
Steer clear traffic takes us this morning to I-65 at the I-24 junction. This is north of town. Traffic in that direction looking really nice out there this morning. No major slowdowns in either direction from up there. Of course, things are always subject to change. Right now, we're doing okay, though. Accident-free for the most part out there on the mid-state roads. We're going to continue to follow it and let you know about anything we do find live and local with you through 9. In politics this morning, the state Senate approved a bill yesterday making it illegal for anyone other than a parent to take a minor across state lines for an abortion. But they made significant changes just before the final vote. Fox 17 News' Scott Couch has the story.
Tennessee is one of 14 states where abortion is illegal with rare exception. And now a bill to make it more difficult for minors to get an abortion in another state is one step closer to becoming law.
What this bill does, it seeks to protect parents, to give them their God-given rights and our state-given rights to protect their minors from obtaining an abortion.
Senator Paul Rose's bill would have made it a Class C felony, but an amendment offered just before the third and final Senate vote reduces the punishment.
Amendment 1 changes the offense of abortion trafficking to a Class C felony to a Class A misdemeanor. It clarifies that the offense does not apply when a person has obtained written consent from the parent or guardian.
Democrats, who are greatly outnumbered, offered two other amendments. One would specify birth control and fertility treatments are not considered abortions. The other questions what constitutes recruiting a minor to have an abortion, which is the language used in the bill.
The communications themselves are potentially criminal actions here.
Both of those amendments failed over Democrats' objections.
You should be able to go into other states freely in our country without being hampered by laws that are preventing you from exercising your free will.
That set up the final vote.
Mr. Clerk, take the vote.
Ayes 26, 3 nays.
That was Fox 17 News' Scott Couch reporting there. The version of the bill that passed by the House still has a punishment as a Class C felony. So the measure is likely headed to a conference committee. Well, happening now, the Rivergate Mall in Goodlettsville is up for sale. Now, real quick. Rivergate Mall is personal to me. It's where I spent a large part of my childhood. But a lot of people are asking what's going to be happening to the mall and the surrounding businesses. Well, Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker is live there in Goodlettsville with a look at the mall. She's looking at BJ's Wholesale Club, which is one of the new businesses that have just opened up there in the Rivergate area. This is very close to the mall. It's not at the mall itself. The mall itself is nearby. However, there has been lots of changes happening over there at the mall. Construction, for instance, went underway for some of the fuel pumps for part of the mall as the wholesale store takes over the site of the old movie theater, which is just across the street from the mall itself. So that used to be an 8-screen movie theater that was sitting right there that is just across the street from the main mall. The question is, how much will the mall sell for? And if somebody buys it, what are they going to do with it? There's been a lot of chatter about developments there for the mall. The question is, what's going to happen in the future? This is one possibility with BJ's Wholesale. They believe there's a future there. We're going to continue to follow the movements there in Rivergate, the city of Goodlettsville, Madison, a lot of interested parties there for the future of Rivergate. Well, coming up, a Tennessee man is facing consequences for shooting 2 elk. We're going to tell you how wildlife officials were tipped off to the poaching. And an investigation into Boeing is now...
Smart, think smart, think smart, talk smart, eat smart. You are smart, smarty pants.
You got to unleash the power.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
.438 is the time. Live look this morning in Belmead. That is where water is now covering a local road there. That is Evelyn Avenue there in Belmead. This is a common occurrence in that area. They've set up barriers to make sure people don't cross the road because of the streams there that oftentimes flood over like this. So be aware that those barriers are up this morning, and it's some localized flooding like this, not widespread flooding that's hitting a lot of areas, even though there is more rain to come. Greg Bobus has got the details on that coming up here in a few seconds. Before we tell you about the weather, though, let's get to Operation Crime and Justice, as a man has now pled guilty to poaching 2 elk in East Tennessee. 34-year-old Preston William Douglas had his hunting license revoked for 5 years and had to give up a rifle and a handgun, plus pay $10,000 in restitution. The elk were killed in the North Cumberland Wildlife Management Area that is over in East Tennessee. Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency investigators say after an anonymous tip from another hunter, they were able to find the bodies of the male and female elk in the woods. The National Transportation Safety Board is ramping up its investigation into Boeing. Late yesterday, Boeing provided the federal investigators with documents that may show situations where a door plug was removed from a 737 MAX as it was being assembled. The new documents may explain why the door plug flew out during an Alaskan Airlines flight that took place in January. The NTSB chairman told the Senate Commerce Committee that Boeing's admission that records don't exist for that work on the plane was unacceptable. The next step is to determine if Boeing workers documented that type of work in the past. Well, the NTSB investigators have also been in Washington State. That is where the 730 MAX is assembled. They were there this week. The agency is conducting more interviews of Boeing and Federal Aviation Administration employees. Let's talk to Greg Bobus. He's got a look at the forecast.
That we do. We're starting off warm, wet pavement right now. A lot of wind has picked up overnight, and a few pockets of some heavy rain are going to be out there for us as we go through this morning and into early afternoon. 62 degrees right now. A live look over Lower Broadway. And again, those Preds tickets go on sale for the playoffs later on today. If you're a fan, get on it because they might go quick. Taking a look, 62 degrees. Your temperature in Nashville, like we mentioned, 63 in Murfreesboro. We're all starting off upper 50s and low 60s to kick off this morning. This afternoon, right around 65. Not a bad day when it comes to temperature, but the wind, we're going to notice it all day long. Wind gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour. Temperatures across the entire southeast looking good, though. No one really feeling the cold. Actually, temperatures are on the increase going into the upcoming weekend. We could hit near 80 degrees multiple days in a row. Your school day forecast taking us through first bell, 62 degrees, 61 after school. Not much of a change in temperature, and you want to have the rain gear. Not everyone getting rain right now, but be prepared for it just in case. These isolated showers, which I'll keep showing you on radar, will be with us on and off throughout a good portion of today.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about here to I-40 at Spence Lane, just east of downtown. You can see for yourself traffic in that area moving along very nicely. No major flooding out there on the interstate so far. We're doing really nice, and that is certainly a good sign. Although there is more rain to come and things could change, we'll continue to watch things for you live and local through 9. Well, coming up, some people are turning to social media for tax advice. We're going to give you the red flags and why it could mean you're not getting the right tips. And one group of
use its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tearvia.
4:44 is the time. The third time is not the charm for Donald Trump's lawyers. Now, for the third straight day, a New York appeals court rejected their efforts to delay the hush money criminal trial. In their third attempt, the former president's lawyers tried to get the judge to recuse himself over an alleged conflict of interest and challenged several of his rulings. They also tried to delay it over Trump's gag order and the trial venue as well. This means that Mr. Trump will stand trial on Monday on charges that he falsified business records to hide hush money payments to an adult film star. The former president denies any wrongdoing. Happening today, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee will sign the Disabilities Act and the Disability and Aging Act of 2024. Now, the bill will combine the Department of Intellectual and Development Disabilities with the Commission on Aging and Disability. The combination has been named now the Department of Disability and Aging. The department is meant to serve people with disabilities and people the age 60 and older. According to the Tennessee Data Center, seniors are the fastest growing age group across the state of Tennessee. Well, tax season is in a home stretch, and the April 15th federal tax deadline is less now than 1 week away. But those looking for the last-minute tips on social media may not always get the best advice on what to do. Karen Kaffa is in Washington with a look at some of the red flags.
From budgeting to student loan payments, the hashtag FinTalk has exploded on TikTok.
It really just shows how many people are looking for that personal finance advice, how to save their paycheck, how to spend their paycheck, and especially during this time of year, how to file taxes.
Brad Messner of the National Association of Tax Professionals and a professor at the University of Pittsburgh says social media can give voice to some helpful sources for tax topics, but not all have the same credibility and expertise.
In a lot of cases, there's a lot of intricacies and nuances. So there is no way in a 15-second, or even in some cases a 30-second or 3-minute clip to explain all of the details around the topic.
The IRS said this week bad information on social media, including schemes like misusing W-2 forms to scam a bigger refund, can lead a taxpayer to big trouble. Nick Molney, managing editor at CNET, says users should always do their own research.
The fact check that you always want to put into place, make sure that you know the basics and that you're not just following someone's potential get-rich-quick messaging that may or may not even be true.
After all, Messner says it's the individual filer who's held accountable for that tax return.
When you submit that return or when you sign that return, you are ultimately responsible for it. And if anything comes into question, just the response of, oh, well, I saw that on TikTok is not really a valid response in the terms of an audit.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaffa.
Continuing coverage of tax season as the IRS has already doled out around $185 billion in taxpayer refunds. That's across 90 million returns. The latest data is through the end of March. The average refund is around $3,050. That's about a 5% increase from last year. Refunds are coming a little bit larger since the IRS adjusted a standard deduction and tax bracket of around 7% to account for inflation. You only have a few days left to file. Tax day is scheduled for Monday. From Texas to Georgia, the Southeast saw flash floods, fierce winds, along with baseball-sized hail and tornadoes from severe storms on yesterday. Officials warned the system would bring in a lot of rain and with the risk of deadly flooding. Now let's take you down to Kirbyville, Texas. This was an area in deep distress yesterday after the storm caused severe flooding in that area. Emergency crews responded to at least 10 water rescues in a creek as the city there of Kirbyville flooded after rising 10 feet in around 6 hours. Wow. In addition to the flooding, the storms also caused major damages to several businesses there as well. Greg Bulbus is here, and Greg, unfortunately, we are no stranger to that kind of video right here in the mid-state. We have seen it time and time again. This time didn't happen, but there's still more rain on the way.
There absolutely is, and yes, we missed all the severe weather yesterday because of how much energy everything down south took away from us. So we are okay right now. Definitely rainy, definitely have some areas of standing water, and we're not done yet. There will be more pockets of this heavy rain throughout the morning. Taking a look at how this is moving, it's going from the bottom left-hand side of your screen to the top right-hand side of your screen. Nothing in Nashville right now, but Clarksville up through Hopkinsville, and then some areas of some very patchy rain work here. Cookeville out toward Monterey. Crossville, you're just missing a shower pulling away from you. Taking a look at where this is going, putting a little track on it for you here. This will move its way out of far northern middle Tennessee back into southern Kentucky in the next 20 minutes or so. Clarksville, you're almost done basically with this band, but a few more of these are going to continue to fire up and die down throughout the morning. Everything and all of the trajectory is pulling away away from Nashville right now. A few more dry hours likely in the Nashville area, but late morning into early afternoon, that is going to change. We'll bring in a few more isolated showers and storms. By dinner time tonight, we should be done with the rain through the upcoming weekend. Wash or wait today. Tomorrow, maybe, depending upon how much standing water we still have on a lot of our roadways. Saturday, you're good to go for it here. Same with Sunday. As far as outside plants later today, got to watch the radar very carefully. Fox 17 Code Red Weather app going to help you out with that. Temperatures will stay in the 60s. They're there right now. They'll be there the entire day. No real warm up throughout this afternoon. Coming up in the forecast, though, we're going to continue to work your way, and I'll give a little more extra time to the upcoming weekend because it deserves it. 65 will be your temperature right in the middle of the day, and then 67 tomorrow, honing in on the upper 70s, near 80 by Saturday and Sunday.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get to I-40 at Spence Lane over on the east side of town. This is where we can see a fair share of ponding at times. Not seeing it this morning, though. This morning, we're doing really nice as you get out there this morning, coming across from the east side of things. We'll continue to follow anything going on there. This is 65 at 24 on the north side. Also looking very good in that direction. We'll continue to follow things out there with steer clear traffic. Right now, though, so far so good. We are accident free. In health news this morning, we are happy to report that Consumer Reports has launched a petition drive to get schools across the country to take Lunchables off the menu. Now, the advocacy group says that the food kits contain relatively high levels of sodium in those Lunchables. Lunchables are approved by the USDA as part of a national school lunch program that serves nearly 30 million children. Consumer Reports says the amount of chemicals they could contain a lot of lead and lead to some serious problems over time. Not lead, but sodium. Lots of sodium here inside of these Lunchables. They also say there could be some lead here in the Lunchables, which is why they're concerned about them. So again, they're asking them to remove them from the menus out there for schools. No word yet on if it will actually happen or not. Well, coming up, former President Donald Trump is weighing in on Arizona's strict abortion bans. What he says state officials should do about it next. And there's a new exhibit in downtown Nashville.
Without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic for asthma.
4:55 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. That's a live look there over downtown Nashville. As you can see, we're moving along pretty well. A little light rain out there in certain spots, but the light rain will turn heavy before the end of the day. Greg Bobus is here and will give us the details on that coming up here in the next few minutes. A reminder, Nashville Predator tickets go on sale for the playoffs starting at 10 o'clock this morning. Of course, they play home games there at Bridgestone. When a dog comes home from the groomer looking very sharp like they do in Tulsa, Oklahoma, dog owners may have a former prisoner to thank for a haircut like that. Muddy Paws is in the process of training women after they've been released from prison on how to groom dogs. The director and trainer and executive director of that particular organization say they started the same way after serving their time. The program provides rent stipends as well as equipment and uniforms to participants. So far, it's graduated more than 300 women over the last decade plus. Some of them make up to $25 per hour. 33 have even started their own grooming shops. What a unique idea. Of course, biggest fan of doggos I know, standing by over at the Weather Center.
And we'll be having a dog of the day next hour.
Of course we will.
Go figure, right? Taking a look here, weekend planner. Get ready to make all the plans, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening. We're finally getting out of the doldrums of this on and off incessant rain we have had. 79 degrees on Saturday, 82 on Sunday, loaded with sunshine both days. However, a few showers are still out there. Most of us are relatively dry right now, but into southern Kentucky, and then if you get east of I-65, especially toward the Cumberland Plateau, we're seeing some rain right now. How do you track it on the go? lift your phone up and just go like that to the QR code. Download the Fox 17 Code Red Weather app, and you'll always know what's coming your way well before it gets to you. A good place to go for weather updates when it comes to impending severe weather or when we are in the middle of a severe weather outlook or outbreak. Twitter, our X pages, I should say, on twitter.com. Good place to go. You can also go to Facebook to submit those dogs of the day, like we're going to meet next hour. And you can always follow along with all of us on any social media outlet. Coming up as we go into our 5 o'clock half hour, one of the first things you will see is the current radar. We'll track what's out there and talk about any potential thunderstorms for later in the day.
All right, everyone. Steer clear traffic takes us north of town. This is going to be I-65, the I-24 junction. As you can see there, traffic moving along really well. This will be a parking lot later in the day. Right now, it's fine as you get out and about there this morning. No major accidents anywhere on the interstates. As a matter of fact, your drive time's all on the green right here. 26 minutes from Kingston Springs, 51 from Murfreesboro, 25 minutes down from Hendersonville. We've got you covered live through 9 with the very latest developments on anything that's going on with the traffic. Former President Donald Trump says that Arizona's abortion ban goes too far. Now, the former president was talking about the issue as he got off the plane there. The law criminalizes nearly all abortions, with no exceptions for rape or incest, but only if the mother's life is at risk. Trump does support all 3 exemptions. He has reinforced his stance that abortion is a state issue. He called on the governor and state lawmakers to address that particular law.
For 52 years, people have wanted to end Roe v. Wade to get it back to the states. We did that. It was an incredible thing, an incredible achievement. We did that. And now the states have it, and the states are putting out what they want. It's the will of the people.
Former president speaking there, getting off a plane. The former president also says he would not sign a national abortion ban. He did not answer questions about how he plans to vote on a Florida measure to enshrine abortion access. Let's talk about Erica Glover's favorite place, the Ryman Auditorium. I don't know if it is. I just think it might be based on some of the things she's done in her own life there. There's a new exhibit celebrating Elvis Presley. The exhibit marks 70 years since Elvis' only performance at the Ryman. He only performed there once, believe it or not, all the way back in 1954. You can check out the exhibit From Memphis to Ryman. The exhibition with the Ryman Auditorium, daytime tour tickets. It's all available on our website at fox17.com. Of course, Elvis is just one of many headliners to take the stage at the Ryman Auditorium over the years.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
We are windy this morning and rain still on the radar. We dodged the bullet when it came to severe weather, but a few more storms later today. We'll time those out in your Code Red forecast.
And Covenant school parents are at odds with a state lawmaker as he's pushing for the school shooter's writings to be released. We're sharing updates.
And the future of the area surrounding Rivergate Mall, right there in Goodlettsville, part of it in Goodlettsville, part of it in Madison. And boy, I tell you what, the future is becoming clearer for how they're going to do that. We'll tell you about the latest businesses that could be filling up space.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Thursday for Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Let's kick off your Thursday now with the top few stories you'll want to know about before you head out the door.
Donald Trump is now 0 for 3 in the last-minute attempts to get a New York appeals court to delay his upcoming hush money criminal trial. An appeals court judge rejected the latest appeal from the former president's lawyers yesterday. The ruling clears the way for jury selection to begin Monday.
The NTSB wants new answers after January plane had a parts failure. They're conducting new interviews right now with Boeing and FAA as they investigate that door plug failure on an Alaskan Airlines flight. The NTSB says Boeing is cooperating right now and providing the proper documents.
We're also following international headlines. Ukraine's parliament passing a law this morning that will govern how the country recruits new people that sign up to join. Well, it comes after months of delays and after thousands of amendments were submitted to weaken the first draft. The law was spurred by a request from the military, who says Ukraine needs up to 500,000 new recruits to boost Army ranks.
Storms moving through the mid-state overnight. Did they wake you up? I was telling Erica this morning, the heavy rain at our house actually woke me up, but we didn't get the worst of it. Big severe weather system taking flight through places like Houston. Take a look at the damage there this morning. The National Weather Service says an EF1 tornado may have had winds of about 90 miles an hour. This morning, we're seeing footage of the damage to those businesses and homes in that area. So thankfully, Greg, it looked like that whole system kind of broke apart as it approached Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, basically what we saw starting to happen yesterday morning kept happening throughout the day, where everything to the south kept pulling energy away from us. We still got rain, but we definitely did not have as much to work with because of all of the severe weather. Tornadoes, flash flooding, damaging wind happening through many states down to our south. So it took all the energy and just pulled it right down toward the Gulf Coast. For us right now, we're not done. We still have some rainfall out there in a few pockets. Nashville itself looking pretty good. We're not going to see much happening here other than a sprinkle over the course of the next hour or so. It'll pick up a little bit later this morning, but for right now, we're good. Clarksville, you're finally dry for a little bit. Here's a couple little light raindrops. These are all lifting to the north and east away from you guys, but places like Allensville, you get out toward Elkton in southern Kentucky, where the light rainfall has just started. You'll get a little batch here for a good half hour of some more moderate rainfall, maybe even a clap of thunder, and then getting out to the Cumberland Plateau. That's where areas are also seeing some decent rainfall. One shower that has developed just here to the north of Fayetteville, moving to the north and the east, Cumberland Springs in 26 minutes. You'll be getting some rain. We'll keep tracking what's out there. We'll also look ahead to later today. One chance for some thunderstorms. Who has that best chance coming up in a few minutes?
Greg, thank you. Right now, 5:04 is the time. We do want to check in with your Steer Clear traffic update and take you out by the airport. Typically busy depending on what day and what time. Here is a live look. I-40 at Donaldson Pike. Again, this is near B&A. That exit right there, the exit ramp to get to the airport. We're not seeing any kind of backups right now. No issues at hand. If you're heading out I-40 at Donaldson Pike, we're giving you the green light.
And we have an update right now, too, an endangered child alert coming to us from Knoxville this morning. We now have 3 children reported missing, and they could potentially be here in the mid-state. We have 20-month-old Jay-Z Hollins and 4-year-old Joshua Hollins Jr. who are missing, expected to be with their mom, Tara Shelton, who does not have custody. She's wanted by the TBI right now for custodial interference. Knoxville police say that the oldest son, Raymond McAlpin, also missing from the Knoxville area and could be with her. So that makes all 3 of the children. This is the mom. If you have any information, you're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Now to continuing coverage this Thursday morning as Covenant School families suing to keep anyone from seeing the shooter's writings. Well, they have now filed an ethics complaint against a state lawmaker.
Yeah, they are targeting Senator Todd Gardenhire, who is from Chattanooga, but he is among several people suing to try to get the records public. He's also sponsoring a bill that would keep third parties like the Covenant parents from having to try to intervene when it comes to public records cases like this. The big question is, should they have the right to intervene and have a say-so? Arguments in the original lawsuit over the shooter's writings expected to be heard next week.
At 5:05, we are talking about what's happening regarding the rebuilding of the Rivergate Mall area. Once a very busy shopping place. We were talking about this earlier this morning.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like, well, deserted?
Yeah, it's gone downhill really over the years, and people who have lived in Nashville for a long time have fond memories of Rivergate Mall, but over the years we've had so many shops and restaurants shut down. The Macy's left Rivergate Mall, the Sears shut down years ago, but now it would appear the revitalization is starting to take shape. We have our Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker in that area this morning. If you're not familiar, the Rivergate Mall area is just off I-65 at Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. This is the former Bed Bath & Beyond store, and this is where the Nashville Business Journal says Sprouts Farmers Market could be making this home, opening a 5th Nashville location. We understand that it could be in business by early next year.
Coming up, one mid-state community is facing a jump in rental fraud. How a detective says you can spot the scammers.
And a 17 Code Red weather app.
In Operation Crime and Justice, there is an alarming trend in the city of Franklin. That's according to local police, who are now seeing an uptick in rental schemes, leaving some folks stranded without a home and then out of thousands of dollars.
All right, so this is the buyer
I would start with the price and make sure that it lines up with other properties.
or renter beware, as is the case here. Detective Dan Ogilvie with the Franklin Police Department says more and more people are becoming victims of fraudulent rental property listings, most of which he says are on Facebook Marketplace. Ooh. That's where an imposter might upload convincing photos or even ads online of apartments or townhomes that seem to be for rent.
Then they ask for money up front for what would be a security deposit or an application fee.
They make it appear that they are the ones taking the pictures. They're the ones in control. They're the ones that have the authority to lease this property out, when in reality, they might not have never stepped foot in that neighborhood, let alone Tennessee.
Oh, this is not good. Detective Ogilvie says many people don't know it's a scheme until the moment they move in or they try to move in. So to avoid this, he suggests staying clear of sellers who only communicate through text message or email and then ask for advanced payments through Venmo or Cash App. That is a red flag, not to move forward.
Yeah, if they're trying to get you to give them money before anything official happens. Ouch. All right, 5:10 right now, and in your community we go to Mount Juliet this morning, where a police officer acted quickly and saved a man's life yesterday and now is being hailed a hero.
Well, there is a social media post about this on X, and the coach saying, hey, to the Mount Juliet Police Department, our officer who brought my father-in-law back to life today at the Waffle House parking lot, I would love to thank you in person.
The department did respond to this person's post online, saying that Corporal Filkowski was the officer who acted in that medical emergency that was happening at the Waffle House, and they are sending out their prayers for that man's recovery.
They have to get connected.
Yeah, I hope so. And I hope we can be there for it. Those are great stories.
Absolutely.
Positive stuff. All right, 5:11 is the time, Greg.
Coming up here, we're talking about three big things in the weather story. A rainy morning for us here. A few afternoon storms cannot be ruled out, but we'll look ahead finally to a drier weekend. Lots of good things ahead.
And Fox 17 News keeping a very close eye on all of your steer clear traffic updates, trying to save you some time before heading out the door. Everything you need to know and how to avoid those messy spots.
Metro Nashville.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Good morning. 5:14 is the time. Right now, Fox 17 News taking a live look at the Nashville skyline. It's dark right now, but hey, some of y'all could be waking up to some light showers out there. We're going to have that full forecast. We're not in a code red weather alert. That's good news. And Friday is tomorrow. That's also some welcome news. And sunshine is in the forecast. He's going to talk about the timeline for everything in a couple of minutes.
New this morning, we have a Metro Nashville public school employee who is accused of attacking a student. Here's what we've been able to learn so far. An arrest warrant shows that Sullivan Baker was filling in as a substitute teacher back in October when the report says he shoved a 13-year-old student. We understand that 13-year-old student had been shoved against a wall. The warrant claims the teen was not listening to Baker's instructions, and according to the warrant, the teen hit his head against the wall.
Police say Baker admitted to, quote, pinning the student. He is now charged with assault and is set to appear before a judge. That is happening on April 22nd.
Also new this morning, we're talking about the weather and the impacts to your morning commute. We've got a spot that's seeing some flooding. One of the roads in the Belmead area. In fact, we can see it here. A live look from our Fox 17 photojournalist, Kevin Mumphrey, who's on the scene right now.
So this area right here is typical for ponding, though. We're not surprised to see this, but we do want to go around and find the trouble spots that could be causing any kind of issues. But our Fox 17 photojournalist out there showing you the ponding that is going to cause an issue for folks who are heading out in this area again.
This is also an area that tends to be blocked off. They will gate it off in the event that this happens. So just know that before you head out this morning, and we'll continue to keep an eye on this as we go. I'm going to get a quick reminder. What is the street name here? I'm going to ask our producer, Tori. This is Evelyn. All right, that's the name of the street here in Belmead. So heads up there on your morning drive.
And we're talking about wicked weather in other parts of the country because a lot of heavy rain hit much of the South. So we're taking some looks over in New Orleans. This flooding yesterday over at Canal Street, downtown area there. Drivers heading through this high water, never a good idea. I mean, take a look at your screen right here to see the torrential downpour in that area, New Orleans again.
All right, so we're going to get a check of the forecast now. I know Greg has been talking about more rain coming our way today. How much, Greg, are we looking at?
We saw about a half of an inch to an inch overnight into this morning, so that's where we're at right now. We could add an additional inch to an inch and a half in areas across Middle Tennessee. It's not for everybody this time around, so we've got a few pockets that are out there, and it kind of really gives you a good idea as to who will add a little more rainfall more than other folks. If you look out towards southern Kentucky here, we're talking about Hopkinsville. This rainfall just moving away from Clarksville. This area, our far northwesternmost counties, has that chance to see more than an inch of rain today. And then also out toward the Cumberland Plateau. I'm watching very carefully the Tompkinsville area all the way down through Cookeville because there is a Category 1 risk. There could be a strong storm or two for some damaging wind late morning into early afternoon in those areas. The more rain we get this morning, the smaller that chance is going to be for the afternoon, which is a good thing. So rain this morning, extremely helpful. We're in all clear when it comes to code red. No severe weather is likely for us here. Heavy morning rainfall areas of ponding, though, will continue to be a thing we have to watch as we're getting out the door to start off this Thursday morning. Taking a look at future track rain, here you go. How much rainfall we get by the end of today into tomorrow. Additional on top of that half inch to an inch, but it's not going to be as widespread as this shows you. It will really be in these little pockets that get a quick downpour that can sit on top of you for maybe a half hour or an hour that could give you that additional half inch of rain and lead to that standing water. Flooding risk has gone down overnight into this morning. It's not at zero, but definitely looking better than it did even yesterday. So today into tomorrow, things are slowly starting to improve for us here. We're watching streets and roadways, especially streams, creeks, and rivers. We didn't see that much rainfall to where those should be a big deal or a huge issue we have to monitor extremely closely. We're in the upper 50s and low 60s right now, 65 degrees later on this afternoon. Gorgeous looking weekend up near 80 on Saturday and on Sunday.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Should make that drive in through the Antioch area. You can see there traffic is moving just fine. No big holdups in either direction out there. Great news, fantastic news for those who are getting out and about there in that direction. So hopefully they can keep this kind of trend going, even though history has shown things will slow down here before very long. Let's take a look at your overall drive times. Look at this. Kingston Springs at 26 minutes. Murfreesboro, 53 minutes on that drive. Lebanon, good morning out there in Wilson County, 39 minutes for you coming in from the east side.
Justin, thank you. We have an update this Thursday morning as police are now searching for two people who they say pulled up to the scene of a deadly crash yesterday.
Really interesting development here. This is video from that crash scene. It was the breaking news that we brought you yesterday morning. This is the crash that resulted in a closure of I-24 near Harding Place. Metro Police say 19-year-old Kevonta Lane died right around 2:30 a.m. And here's video of where they shut down the interstate. Police say that Kevonta Lane's car veered off of I-24, went airborne through the woods, and then landed behind a building. Police say video from that area shows two people drove to the scene of the crash, went to the wrecked out car twice, and then left. What were they doing there? What were they looking for? That's why police are asking a lot of questions. Their investigation continues this morning as they look for those two people.
Well, we're talking about sports now because this fall, high school girls will hit the gridiron as girls flag football becomes an officially sanctioned Tennessee high school varsity sport. This is very interesting for a lot of girls who do want to play.
Yeah, it is. So just this week, the TSSAA voted to approve girls flag football, making Tennessee the 10th state to do so. This initiative backed by the Tennessee Titans, and that's what we're taking a live look at here right now. Our shot's going in and out. But the Titans have been supporting schools for the last couple of years in their efforts to try to expand these programs.
Yeah, some other leagues that have gotten started are in Metro Nashville Public Schools, also Clarksville, Montgomery County. They also have programs similar to this. 15% of TSSAA member schools are taking part in girls flag football, or they say committed to starting a program. So we'll see what happens in the fall.
Well, yeah, we'll see them starting up. That's going to be exciting. 5:21 right now. We have 3 mariners who have been rescued from a tiny remote island in the Pacific Ocean. They were stranded there for more than a week. And this is like something out of a movie when you think about it. Look how they got help.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. They spelled out help from that tiny remote island. How did they do it? They used palm fronds laid out on that white sand beach, and it worked. There was a U.S. Navy jet running in that area, spotted the sign, and yeah, rescued them.
Wow. They scrambled ashore of this uninhabited island, and they did not have any kind of power to help them out. So the Coast Guard said they lived off coconut meat and fresh water from a small well on the island, which is sometimes visited by fishermen in the area. So it turns out it does work if you're ever stranded on an island to spell out help.
We said it was like something from a movie.
Truly.
All right, 5:22 is the time right now. Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning. We've got several stories you'll want to make sure you're watching, including the one involving Tennessee lawmakers.
Dial now for exclusive same-week VIP appointments. Not a VIP? No worries. Scan the QR code to book your standard chimney service online. Chim Chimney, where your comfort is our priority.
5:24 is the time. For months now, parents and school board members have all asked the state of Tennessee for more direction when it comes to holding 3rd and 4th graders back because of low scores on the state reading exam. A lot of parents have received letters, they've had conferences, the state created summer schools and all kinds of exemptions, but now they're looking to add more exemptions just to make sure that parents and school board members fully understand what they want to see.
So we've all, heard from those parents, and I've even had letters from kids, to be honest with you, from students back in the district saying, hey, what about an alternative path for 4th grade? The way that we'll be able to do this, if a student shows that adequate growth on a screener, or if they show it on those TCAPs from 3rd grade to 4th grade, they move on. But let's say they do not show that adequate growth. If they do not, then a conference will be held between the parent, guardian, the teacher, and the principal to determine whether that student should move on or should they be promoted. So that's what will happen in that. Again, under this legislation, a student who was promoted to 4th grade using that alternative pathway who has not demonstrated adequate growth can be promoted with interventions and additional support.
Intervention and additional support. They are trying to give more power back to local school boards and principals to promote students if they see fit. This whole thing still needs to go before the full House and the full Senate, but both lawmakers on both sides say they are motivated to try and clear up the rules.
Here we are, 5:26, taking a look, getting you up and out the door here this morning on April 11th, your Thursday, shaping up with some rain that's out there in spots right now. It is not widespread for everyone, but even 1 or 2 rumbles of thunder can't be ruled out. Little breezy, temperatures in the upper 50s, right near 60 degrees. You'll likely notice the wind more so in areas that aren't getting the rain, believe it or not. But that will be out there with us this morning and toward the afternoon. What does this mean for any flights into or out of Nashville? There will be some rain getting to and from the airport at times throughout the day. Temperature profile does not move us really anywhere the entire day. We're going to keep things in the low 60s. Only 5 delays right now on the big board. That's good news. A little bit of a breeze out of the south trying to keep us warm for now, but that will really pick up today and tomorrow for the afternoon hours and bring in much warmer weather for the upcoming weekend. We're talking about temperatures that will be in the upper 70s to near 80. The good news is, though, getting up and getting moving. Weather's not being too much of a nuisance just yet. We'll keep our eyes on the radar for you.
All right, let's talk about your steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get started here at I-40 at Fessler's Lane, just east of downtown Nashville. As you can see, traffic there moving along really nicely. No major tie-ups, no major ponding happening out there, even though there are some areas of town that will see some localized flooding, but those spots are the normal spots over there in Bellmead, like we've been showing you all morning, but no major problems so far. We're going to get you your latest drive times, plus a look north of town coming up in the next few minutes. Also coming up, a bill that is aiming to stop abortion tourism for children and teens. The latest in the journey for this to become a law. Plus, we're taking a live look this morning from the BJ's Wholesale Club in Goodlettsville. This is just the first of some major changes.
Unleash the power.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning, 5:30 on the dot right now. Taking a look at a map showing the Rivergate Mall area. This is just off I-65 at Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, and there are big plans in the works right now to revitalize this portion just north of Nashville. We'll dive in deeper this half hour.
Showers on the radar. Nothing happening in the Nashville area right now. A live look downtown, but rain will move back in. This is the last day before we dry out. We'll time it out for you in your forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway. We're going to give you the latest on what could be a wet drive coming up in a few.
Thank you so much for joining us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m.
The good news is we are not in a code red weather alert, but you're going to see some showers out there this Thursday. So lay it out for us. What's the timeline here?
Here we are. Some rain coming down right now. Really depends where you are at. These are tiny little cells that are developing here, and they're giving us some quick little downpours. Then they die down. They're moving pretty quickly as well. We have some brand new rainfall that wasn't even here a half hour ago, moving toward the Lawrenceburg area and also toward Fayetteville. Let's take a look at this one toward the right side of your screen here, pulling it toward the north and the east. All of these are moving in this direction. So Fayetteville, in about, I would say, 5-10 minutes, that rain picks up very quickly for you. Doesn't last long. These are tiny little guys here, but they're going to be on the radar for us throughout this morning. Taking a look at future track, it confirms that throughout the morning hours, a few of these little clusters move through. By 11 a.m., we begin to see everything drifting more toward the east. By 1-2 o'clock, we get out of the heavier rainfall. Lighter showers carry us into the late afternoon hours toward the evening. Once we're past 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, everything dries out. Overnight tonight we're dry, and then we are done for the rest of the week and also for the weekend. Right side of your screen, we're in the upper 50s to right near 60 this afternoon, 65 degrees. So temperature is going to be fairly where they're at right now for most of today. 67 degrees tomorrow, and then warmer heading into the weekend.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 5:32. Quick look here at I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway coming in from the Antioch area. As you can see there, traffic moving along, even though some of those roads are wet out there this morning. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw a rash of accidents pop up here a little bit later. Right now, though, right into the second, we're doing really nicely out there. This is 65 at 24 there on the north side. Also moving along really nicely there as well. Once that rain starts to move in, we could see things change in a big way. We'll continue to watch the roads for you.
In politics this Thursday morning, a bill that would criminalize an adult other than a parent for helping a minor get an abortion out of state has made it past the state Senate.
Tennessee right now, one of 14 states where abortion is illegal with rare exceptions. As we take a look closer now at this proposal that Erica just mentioned, Republican Senator Paul Rose wants to make it a Class C felony, but an amendment just before the third and final Senate vote yesterday reduced that punishment. Democrats, who are outnumbered, offered two other amendments. One would specify birth control and fertility treatments as not being considered any kind of form of abortion. The other questions what constitutes recruiting a minor to have the procedure, which is the language that is used in the bill. Both of those amendments failed.
Well, what this bill does, it seeks to protect parents, to give them their God-given rights and our state-given rights to protect their minors from obtaining an abortion.
You should be able to go into other states freely in our country without being hampered by laws that are preventing you from exercising your free will.
Two different perspectives there. The version of this bill, though, passed the House, still has the punishment as the Class C felony. So this measure is likely headed now to a conference committee.
5:34 is the time, and happening right now. In fact, pretty much on the daily, things are changing in the Rivergate Mall area. This is just north of Nashville, straddling Madison and Goodlettsville. We have another retailer that is opened up shop. This is the BJ's wholesale store. They opened their third location in Mid-State here, right beside Rivergate Mall back in February. So they've been open for a couple of months now, but more is coming.
Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker is out there in the area giving us a live look at the construction projects that are underway, because it's not just going to be BJ's. There's going to be some more redevelopment in this area.
Yes, in fact, BJ's is expanding. They're opening fuel pumps, and if you look on your screen right now, just to the right, if Madison, if you can kind of pan back to your right, and then look straight out that way. Yep, that's where they are building the fuel pumps that will be going into this area just off Conference Drive, right there at Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. And the BJ's isn't the only thing that's popping up. As we go through the course of the morning, live through 9, we're going to show you all of the other places in this area that are part of the revitalization. We'll be talking about In-N-Out Burger, Sprouts Market, and what's going to happen to Rivergate Mall itself. It's up for sale right now.
We're talking about growth. The Music City staple opening another location in Tennessee, and Prince's Hot Chicken is now serving travelers over at Nashville's International Airport. So yeah, hungry passengers, maybe you're heading out there today. You can find it at B&A's Gate CD Connector.
Okay, they said, Prince's said that to be the original Nashville hot chicken spot with a rich history dating back nearly a century, they had to do it. I mean, it's just totally Nashville. They've got other spots in South Nashville, Antioch. They have one at Assembly Food Hall down on Broadway. They have one at Geodis Park. Also, they've expanded to Knoxville and even South Carolina.
And they have another location. I was looking at their website, Jefferson Street, coming in 2025.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, on
making
the
me
map.
hungry.
On the map.
Japan's Prime Minister is set to speak to members of Congress today. We're going to talk about why the timing of this address is important.
And we're giving you a look this morning at some of the weather damage from overnight.
Famous Half Price Fair. It's first come, first served. Starts this Sunday, 10 a.m. at Electronic Express.
All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
International headlines now. Japan's Prime Minister is expected to go ahead and address members of Congress today. It's happening over on Capitol Hill.
All right, he'll be talking with U.S. lawmakers, talking about the significance of continuing a partnership between Japan and the U.S. This comes, though, at a time where there's a lot of tension in the Asia-Pacific region as the Chinese military is getting stronger. We also understand that the Prime Minister is going to go to a summit to try to ramp up regional support to counter China and what it's doing. So we'll let you know how that develops later today.
We're also talking about Texas and the wicked weather. A neighborhood over in Houston, Texas, struck early Wednesday by an EF1 tornado. That's according to the National Weather Service. So we're showing you some video here of the destruction left behind. The twister over in Katy, Texas, had maximum winds about 90 miles per hour. So certainly not a good system that impacted their communities. We're now going to check in, though, with us here in Middle Tennessee. Greg, we did not have to deal, thankfully, with those kind of issues.
We are very thankful that we didn't have any of that happening back home. It took all the energy from us and it filtered it all down toward the south. Multiple confirmed tornadoes, wind damage, flash flooding. For us, wet pavement in 60s to start off the morning. 61 degrees right now in the Nashville area, fairly overcast. Even if you're not getting rain actively, you definitely have a breezy start to the day and quite a bit of cloud cover that we're contending with. Temperatures across the board, upper 50s to right near 60, and the entire southeast looks that way as well. Our breeze is out of the south, so all the warm air that is below us is going to slowly move up toward us. Our weekend is going to be very warm. We're talking right near 80 degrees both days. This morning, rain gear. Even if it's not raining where you're at right now, that chance for some showers in a weak rumble of thunder cannot be ruled out for first bell. Also after school. Coming up in the next Check Your Forecast, we'll look at what is on the radar for you and then piece together a 7-day forecast that could have up to 4 or 5 80-degree days.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's go to the north side of town, 65 at 24. This is where we last left you there with traffic moving along pretty well in both directions up there from that I-65 24 area coming in from places like Madison and Goodlettsville and Hendersonville. This will slow down later on this morning, but not right now. We're doing fine. Let's take a look here at I-40 at Fester's Lane. This is just east of town. Traffic there moving along very well. No big ponding issues. But again, when that rain pours in, things can and will change.
Justin, thank you. Well, hey, he just talked about flooding and ponding. We're taking a live look throughout different parts of Nashville. Here is a look over at Belle Meade along Evelyn Drive over there. You can see some issues dealing with ponding. We're not in a code red alerts, but we do want your full forecast. And just to keep you aware, we'll have some more updates.
Insurance company isn't helping you with your car. How do you think they're going to deal with you about your injuries? We can help. Call us at 615-242-9000.
Good morning and welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. 5:45 is your time. Right now, we know the heavy rain from last night and early this morning has already caused some issues in the mid-state. We are going to show you a problem spot right now. We are live with our photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey in the Belle Meade neighborhood. What you're looking at here is the washed out road Evelyn Avenue. This is in Belle Meade at Evelyn near Harding Pike. Now, we were talking with Kevin, our photojournalist out there. He does confirm to us that the high water gates are up. This has been a problem spot. I was actually doing some research during the break. Going back to 2015, we've been doing stories about the high water here on Evelyn Avenue since 2015. This is a known problem zone, so if you are in the area this morning, just make sure you steer clear. You'll have to find your alternate until they take down those high water signs. So we'll monitor this area for you live through 9.
And the good news is, as we talked to Greg, we're not going to be in a code red weather alert. You're not anticipating any kind of flooding issues to continue on throughout this day, correct?
No, nothing widespread, at least. I mean, there are going to be the typical problem spots like that. I mean, I've been out there as well before reporting in the exact same location. So areas that are prone to standing water, that are very hit and miss across Middle Tennessee, we have to watch out for those this morning, but nothing that's going to prompt any widespread flood watches, warnings, anything like that throughout the morning and afternoon. Here we are on Doppler radar. We have a nice chunk of real estate here across Middle Tennessee where nothing is happening. Clarksville, you had rain about an hour ago, quickly moved out, but areas like Dickson, Nashville, Murfreesboro, Gallatin, many of the main areas right around downtown Nashville, looking really nice right now. You have to get up into southern Kentucky to get our more consistent rain, and this is even going to pull away from our northern tier of counties that are in southern Kentucky within the next half hour. That is how fast these showers are moving, but that also means that the showers we have down to our south that are just starting to fire and even give us a few little rumbles of thunder moving into Middle Tennessee. Going to track through Lawrenceburg momentarily, Mount Pleasant next 25 minutes, and eventually a few of these will make their way toward Nashville throughout this morning during the drive. You want the umbrella. You want to make sure that you're just watching the radar here because you can easily dodge many of these depending upon when you head out. Fox 17 Code Red Weather app. You can take a look at the Doppler radar, find that pocket, that window of opportunity to hop outside when it's not raining so we're not getting soaked here this morning. 65 degrees later this afternoon. A few cooler nights in the 40s tonight and tomorrow night. But warm air takes over for the weekend. 79 on Saturday, 82 on Sunday. I don't care what time of the day you want to make a plan for either one of those days, go for it. You're going to have 2 great days this weekend from start to finish.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get to I-24 at Harding Place as you make that drive into town there from the south and east side from Antioch. You can see the traffic there moving along. This is around that same area where we had that deadly accident just yesterday. No type of situation like that happening out there. The interstate is open and operating. Just watch out, especially right here. This is where the road really breaks apart. You see that? If we could see it here, then imagine how it feels underneath your tires there on I-24 at Harding. Look at the north side, 65 at Fern, also doing well there on that north side.
Justin, thank you. We're talking about weather now, and we're taking a look at this. Okay, Buffy Bartley, a flight attendant based at San Francisco International Airport, was walking over to her car. Yeah, when she saw some other airport employees with their cell phones up, taking video and photos of a whole lot of debris.
Yeah, so she realized something was falling from the sky. About 5 minutes before she got there. So a tire is what was falling from the sky. It fell off of a United Airlines flight during takeoff. This is a story that first made headlines a few days ago. Now people are coming out with their own personal videos of what they experienced. Look at the damage to the cars in the parking lot.
Yeah, that would definitely catch you off guard.
My gosh. Wow, wow, wow. All right, 5:49 is the time right now. Let's talk turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey hunting season opens this weekend, and last year we had about 25,000 hunters in our state that bagged a bird.
And listen, this weather this weekend is definitely going to cooperate for hunters. Fox 17 meteorologist Brett Luna has a couple of things you want to keep in mind if you're going turkey hunting.
Well, that's a sound I know some of y'all are anxiously waiting to hear.
To be able to go out there and hear a wild turkey on the roost, it'll just blow your mind. And if you can experience that and share it with somebody, it makes it even better.
And you don't have to wait much longer. Tennessee spring turkey season opens up on Saturday.
It's exciting because you are communicating with that turkey. That turkey wants you to come to him, but you are trying to reverse nature and call him into you. And so it's an exciting time to be in the woods.
There's a few things you need to be mindful of, though. The season limit on wild turkey is 2 bearded birds. Only one of those can be a jake. A jake is a bird with less than a 6-inch beard and less than a 1/2-inch spur. An adult gobbler will have a longer beard than 6 inches, or a spur a 1/2 inch or longer. He's also going to have a tail fan where all the feathers are the same length all the way around, so it makes a perfect oval.
For those who have never turkey hunted, it is impressive to see a full adult male gobbler come in at full strut, and whether you've got a decoy or he's just sneaking through the woods looking for you, it's impressive. And to have one gobble at you within 20 yards, if you've never experienced it, is something to witness.
The spring turkey season runs until May 26th. For a full list of regulations, you can check out the Tennessee Wildlife website. We'll put a link to that for you on our Fox 17 website. Reporting in Nashville, Brett Luna, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Brett, thank you so much. Let's talk sports now.
All right, John Calipari, the new Arkansas Razorbacks head basketball coach. So what's going to happen at Kentucky? Well, to be decided, but Calipari landed in Fayetteville, Arkansas just yesterday, greeted by a lot of people at the airport who were anxiously awaiting his arrival. From there, more well wishes that he went to a news conference, and that's where the university officially made the announcement that the 65-year-old is the new head coach.
Well, the Hall of Famer signed a 5-year contract with a salary that begins at $7 million per season. The previous day, Calipari stepped down as Kentucky's head coach after 15 historic years. He led the Wildcats program to the 2012 NCAA championship, so we'll see what happens next. Big changes.
Hey, it's that time of year when farmers markets start to sprout up. I know that's one of our favorite things to do here in the mid-state this time of year. We'll take you to Franklin, and that farmers market is expanding. We'll tell you which weeknight you'll be able to buy produce from your favorite local vendors.
And thousands of ladybugs released outside of one Las Vegas resort. What the resort says the ladybugs are going to help them accomplish. Interesting.
Relax.
Tell them.
Budget Breaks lets you rest knowing you're paying the lowest price in town for your repairs.
Your words soothe like the summer breeze.
Or not in a Code Red weather alert. In fact, Friday is looking to be very enjoyable. So go ahead and make those plans for Friday and the rest of your weekend. We're going to have your full forecast, though, for you in a couple of minutes.
It's a great time of year to get out to your local farmers markets, and we have them all over the mid-state. We go to Franklin this morning, though, because the farmers market there is expanding.
Yeah, so in addition to the Saturday morning farmers market in Franklin, the factory at Franklin is now going to be hosting Wednesday evening markets. Fantastic, newly added market over there. It is expected to open later this spring.
Making me hungry. They're going to have it at the Water Tower Plaza every Wednesday from 4 to 8 p.m. And hey, if you're watching this morning or listening and you want to be a vendor at the Franklin Farmers Market, you can find more information on how to do that on our website, fox17.com.
We're also talking about ladybugs right now. Some say ditch the chemicals and arm yourself with some ladybugs set to act as a natural pesticide.
And here I thought they were a nuisance, but these ladybugs are waging a war on insects at some of the resorts in Las Vegas. We understand that more than 100 or so ladybugs are launched at a time from these little cups that you see people holding, and they're going to eat aphids, mealybugs, and other insects which have been eating the resort's plants. The director of sustainability for one hotel chain says that ladybugs are an eco-friendly way to tackle their bigger pest problem.
It can be a bit daunting at first, but again, they're positive for the environment here. They prevent the use of chemicals and pesticides, so it's sort of using nature to help nature.
The resort says this is their 3rd year taking this kind of action. So far, so good. Interesting. Had you heard that before?
No, but I was going to tell a funny story, and now I'm rethinking whether I should tell it.
Okay, now.
Have you ever well, yeah, I'll tell another time. Let's get to the dog of the day.
All right, Jen.
Well, now I'm just curious.
Exactly. All right, we'll do it next time.
Taking a look here. This is our dog of the day, Shy, sent in by Tiffany Way. Look at those eyes, just loving a little sunshine outside. Look at that, happy. And today is another day that's not a great dog walking day. I promise you. After today, we go into tomorrow. Things look much better. 61 degrees at 6 o'clock. Temperature's going to hang in the upper 50s and low 60s all day long. We're dodging showers and storms this morning and afternoon. Not raining all day long. So look at the radar, find that window of opportunity. You'll have plenty of time to get out there, but make sure you're monitoring what's going on before you do head out, and you can avoid the rain. How do you share your dog of the day? You go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus. You find the pinned post, and that has been at the top of the page since October 2022, and you've been sending in dogs every day since then. That's where you go to send them. To see them right here on Fox 17 News this morning.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's get you to I-24 Haywood Lane as you make that drive out and about. As you can see there, traffic moving really nicely coming in from Antioch this morning. Hi, good morning. Right now, nice drive. Lights are still on. Sun's still trying to creep up there. You will find some wet streets out there, but nothing that's causing you severe big delays, at least not yet. And we hope it doesn't. We hope it's a smooth drive. This is north of town, 65 at Dickerson Pike. Dry streets for the most part. You can still see the wet over here and the dry here, so please keep that in mind as the streets continue to dry out as the rain moves out of the mid-state.
At 5:58 right now, consumer headlines. We have a federal agency that is now requiring nutrition labels on your internet service. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Why do we need a nutrition label for internet? You don't eat the internet, but we'll explain.
The Federal Communications Commission adopting new rules just this week for labeling a broadband internet similar to Food and Drug Administration's nutrition labels. So the White House's National Economic Council, they say the broadband labels will then help consumers avoid junk fees and unexpected price hikes.
And they designed it to look like a nutrition label.
Yes.
It's supposed to explain your monthly price, how long is your contract, what is your upload and download speed, and also note something about the Affordable Connectivity Program. These labels are supposed to be available online and in stores or wherever you would buy an internet plan so that you know essentially what you're paying for and what you're getting into.
Interesting. Right now, we're going to check out what is trending over on our website, fox17.com.
Yeah, the #1 trending story right now is the update that we had yesterday morning right here on our air about the search for Riley Strain that ended with his body being found in the Cumberland River here in Nashville. But his family members and many others still have a lot of questions about what really happened to him. If you want to read that new information and more in depth, head to our website, fox17.com.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, Covenant School parents are at odds with state lawmakers. We're continuing coverage of the Covenant School shooter's writings and the ongoing legal battle.
We have one mid-state community that is facing a jump in rental fraud. We'll tell you how a detective says you can spot the scammers.
Quick moving showers on the radar right now and a chance for a few more storms today. We'll time out coming up in just a few minutes in your forecast.
And Steer Clear Traffic takes us out to Antioch where things are good for now. We'll explain why things will get way worse than this coming up in a few.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We've got you covered live and local through 9. We start right now with our weather coverage this morning. Erica mentioned it just a moment ago. You might have heard some rumbles of thunder or heavy rain. Let's see how the rain is trending right now.
First of all, it's moving very, very quickly in terms of these showers moving in and out of our neighborhoods this morning. They are very hit and miss. You're going to see a little bit of rain on and off throughout the morning, and it will, when it moves through, be heavy in nature. We're getting a lot of wind as well. Rain has quickly rushed out of our far northern counties in Middle Tennessee and up into southern Kentucky. It's almost out of the viewing area. No lightning has been indicated here in our northern tier of counties. Get down toward the south and the east just a little bit here. Areas like Manchester, Fayetteville, going toward Winchester, all this pulling toward the top right-hand side of your screen. These little cells are very unpredictable in terms of when they'll pop up and how quickly they'll die down. So the umbrella, very useful for you here today. No severe weather likely. Heavy morning rainfall in those pockets in areas of ponding and at least wet pavement. Going to be out there for most of us. Looking at your 7-day forecast, we don't really grow much when it comes to our temperature number. We're right near 60 degrees. We'll be at 65 this afternoon. Upper 60s for tomorrow. Weekend, all eyes to it. Glue them right to it right now. 79 on Saturday, 82 on Sunday, and 80s continue into next week.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get out and about to I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is coming in through the Antioch area. Traffic there moving along here. This is in the Cane Ridge area, very close to Cane Ridge High School. Not causing big delays or major delays, but later in the morning, all of this will crowd up and slow down before long. Cambridge High School is right over there, just off camera, by the way. But as more and more traffic starts to get on the road coming in from Laverne and from Smyrna, more and more of this will back up, and pretty soon we'll be looking at a sea of red lights. But if you're getting out the door right now in the next 5 minutes, it's a good time to do so. You can beat that morning rush.
Well, new this Thursday morning, a Metro Nashville Public Schools employee is accused of attacking a student. We're getting some updates regarding an arrest warrant that says Sullivan Baker was filling in as a substitute teacher back in October when he shoved a 13-year-old student against the wall.
All right, here's what we know so far. The warrant also claims that the teenager hadn't been listening to Baker's instructions, and the teenager hit his head against the wall when this all happened. Police say that Baker admitted to hitting the student. He's now charged with assault and is set to show up before a judge coming up April 22nd.
We also have an update to an endangered child alert out of Knoxville this Thursday morning, as 3 children are now reported missing, and we do have their photos to show you.
All right, let's get into the details here. 2 of the children right here on your screen. We have 20-month-old Jay-Z Hollins, 4-year-old Joshua Hollins. This is their mother, Tiara Shelton, who police say does not legally have custody of these children. She is now wanted by the TBI for custodial interference. Now, Erica mentioned 3 children. We also want to show you this young man, the oldest son, Raymond McAlpin, who is also missing from Knoxville and could be with the mom.
They're asking if anyone has any kind of information to go ahead and call 1-800-TBI-FIND. If you want to take another look at the photos, we have that. Go to fox17.com.
Continuing coverage this morning as Covenant School families, some of them at least, are suing to keep anyone from ever seeing the shooter's writings. And they have now also filed an ethics complaint against a state lawmaker.
And they say they're targeting Senator Todd Gardenhire out of Chattanooga. He's among those suing to make the records public. He is also sponsoring a bill that would keep third parties, like the parents, from having standing to file a lawsuit in public records, cases like this one. Arguments in the original suit over the shooter's writings, though, are going to be heard next week.
There's so many online scams right now. I mean, so many, right? There's one that's trending, though, and it's alarming in the city of Franklin. According to police there is an uptick in rental schemes, leaving some people without a place to live, showing up thinking they're about to rent an apartment, and it doesn't exist.
I would start with the price and make sure that it lines up with other properties.
So getting some advice there, that is Detective Dan Ogilvie with the Franklin Police Department. He says more and more people are falling victim to fraudulent rental property listings, most of which he says are on Facebook Marketplace. That is where an imposter will upload pretty convincing photos or ads online of apartments or townhomes that are up for rent. Then they ask for money up front for what would be a security deposit or an application fee.
They make it appear that they are the ones taking the pictures. They're the ones in control. They're the ones that have the authority to lease this property out, when in reality, they might not have never stepped foot in that neighborhood, let alone Tennessee.
Gosh, could you imagine you go through the process of, you break your lease, you pack up everything you have, you move to what you think is your brand new place, and it does not exist. Detective Ogilvie says a lot of people don't know this is a scheme until the moment they go to move in. You show up to pick up your keys from the leasing office, and the leasing office says, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, no.
Yeah, so if you want to avoid scams like this, police say only communicate through legitimate pathways. Like, for example, if you've got somebody trying to just text you, or they're asking you to send them money on Cash App or Venmo, those would be red flags.
Well, we always talk about what's going up in our community, businesses, new restaurants, and happening this morning. We're talking about the Rivergate Mall over in Goodlettsville. We know it's up for sale. We've talked about that. And while the future of that building is uncertain, things are certainly looking up for the surrounding areas.
Yeah, we've got new condos, homes, restaurants, businesses popping up regularly now, right here on the line of Madison and Goodlettsville. And that's where we would find places like this Chick-fil-A. By the way, this Chick-fil-A right there on Gallatin Pike is always packed. And right next to the Chick-fil-A is an empty lot. And if you were to, I know we're looking at the Chick-fil-A now along Gallatin Pike, but if you were to look just behind our camera view, you would see Rivergate Mall and this empty lot that we're talking about. Our photojournalist Madison Spraker giving us the pan around to show us what we're talking about. That's the Dillards right there. And then we've got an empty lot. So that empty lot looks like it may become the home of a new In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, yeah. So In-N-Out Burger submitted plans to Metro Nashville's Planning Commission to go ahead and build a 3,800 square foot restaurant between Rivergate Parkway and then Cud Lane. So we're talking about what could happen in the future in this very area.
Yes, and by the way, we'll be showing you different locations in the Rivergate Mall zone through live through 9 a.m. and just let you know what we're expecting to see pop up here in the near future.
After the break, though, Tennessee lawmakers say they have heard parents' concerns when it comes to the state reading test.
How they're creating a new path for students, even if they don't do well on that standardized test.
And a new state.
Check out what's really happening in Middle Tennessee with a Fox 17 News app. This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection.
From your community this morning, the city of Laverne is trying to hire more people for their police force. Now, right now, they are short several officers and listen, 5 detectives right now on their police force. But they are not waiting for new recruits to come to them. Instead, they are planning to hit the road. And they're not just going anywhere. They're going to those who are serving our military bases out there, and that's where they are looking for their next officers.
Captain Call is going to be traveling to the 4 most common bases for the most number of soldiers to be being discharged from the military and coming into civilian life, and we're going to try to recruit from those areas, because when we've done that in the past, there's I believe he's going to be going to Florida, Texas, one in Nashville here, and one in North Carolina, but the ones that we've done locally have actually paid off with dividends for us.
Now, the starting pay for a Laverne police officer is $24.66 an hour for a non-certified officer, and it's $26.95 for a certified officer plus benefits. Happening today, Governor Bill Lee will sign the Tennessee Disability and Aging Act of 2024. That bill will combine the Departments of Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities and the Commission on Aging and Disability. Now, the combination of the departments will be called the Department of Disability and Aging. The department is meant to serve people with disabilities and people who are 60 years and older. Now, according to the agency that we have so far, the Tennessee Data Center, seniors are the fastest growing age group in the state of Tennessee.
Coming up, we're tracking some shoppers on the radar right now. A live look at Lower Broadway. Preds fans, playoffs, tickets, 10 a.m. They go on sale to the general public. Get them while you can. We'll take a look at your forecast coming up in just a few.
Plus, clear traffic at I-40 at White Bridge Road over on the west side of town. As you can see there, traffic moving along despite the sleeping trucks. We'll take a look at some other areas of town when we get back. And we are learning more about the world's
summer breeze.
Visit budgetbreaks.com for locations and coupons.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville.
Welcome back. 6:14 is the time, and new this Thursday morning. We're talking about the heavy rain yesterday that did cause some issues depending on where you are in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, we've got some roads that are flooded out this morning. In fact, take a live look right here. Our photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey is in Belmead at the location of flooding along Evelyn Avenue near Harding Pike. Now, this is a known problem spot. For years, people living in this part of town have dealt with flooding. We've been reporting on this spot specifically since about 2015.
Correct. I was checking out Fox17.com, reading previous reporting from homeowners who said, yeah, this is a big issue, and that's why we're here highlighting it this Thursday morning. So as we pan on out here, our photojournalist showing that the high water gates, those are up this morning.
Yeah, you cannot get through Evelyn Avenue near Harding Pike because the gates are up. Thanks, Kevin, for giving us that perspective. Just make sure you get your detour there this morning. And if you live in areas that are prone to flooding where creeks might get out of their banks, just know that could be an issue for you on your morning drive.
Well, now we're talking about giant chicken legs. A one-of-a-kind prop from Star Wars is now up for auction. Don't be laughing over there.
I bet you didn't think you'd hear that this morning. Giant chicken leg. These are the giant chicken leg stilts worn by an actor in the 1977 Star Wars movie. And they're set to go on sale at a Star Wars themed auction coming up May 3rd.
I think Greg would perhaps be interested in this.
I bet he's already looking at the minimum bid.
According to the auction house, the stilts are expected to sell somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000.
That's all? I mean, I wouldn't pay that for them. I would think maybe they would be more valuable to somebody than that.
Well, fans are looking for some more information on how to bid for this eccentric movie prop. They can head to their website for more information, but let's check in live right now with our Code Red meteorologist, who I bet might have an update regarding these chicken legs.
Our resident Star Wars expert.
You got me blown for one here. I don't know what is going on. My mind is just...
Did you finish the Lego piece
yeah.
that you were doing?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell everybody what you just finished?
My childhood dream, a really, really, really big Millennium Falcon that I don't know where to go, and I get yelled at every day because it's sitting in my apartment.
It's so big you don't have a place to put it. I think you need the chicken stilts to go along with it. Juliet, don't kill us.
She'll show up here before the show's over. You start talking about chicken stilts coming home. Taking a look here at 617. Before you head out the door, we're grabbing the umbrella. That's the accessory we need for today. Taking a look, Doppler radar's been showing us some rain here. It's been a very busy week in the weather department here, and just for all of us dealing with showers Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday and now today. This is our last day we have to worry about it. Showers continue to move in from southwest to northeast. Still nothing happening in the Nashville area. We get, though, down toward the southwest and moving into the north and east, and we can see right now areas like Linden going to pick up here in the next 15-20 minutes. Moving into Waynesboro, Mount Pleasant, as I mentioned about 20 minutes ago, you were going to be starting to see the rain come in. Now here it is for you. Lawrenceburg, a quick little break. Columbia, you'll be up next for this little isolated thunderstorm. No severe weather that's moving in our direction, which is at least good news there. And you get out to the Tullahoma area, you're seeing rain right on top of you. Manchester, rain moving your direction here in about 10 minutes. One area that I'm watching specifically, circled here in blue, the areas of Hopkinsville, Lafayette, Livingston, Cookeville. There's a marginal Category 1 risk for some possible thunderstorm activity late morning, early afternoon. The more of this rain we get, the better we're going to be. I'll keep my eyes on that for you throughout this morning.
Steer clear for you this morning. Let's get you to I-24 at Briley Parkway. This is on the south and east side of town. Traffic there moving along pretty nicely for the start of this morning's drive for you this morning. So things we know will crowd up and get slow. Right now, though, really nice for now. Things can change and change quickly. Here's a look on the west side. I-40 at White Bridge Road. That drive coming in looking good. Even the trucks sleeping on the shoulder of the road, not having any issue at all. We'll continue to watch the traffic for you as things do change.
Well, efforts to learn more about what lies under the deep blue seas take a lot of work.
Most dive teams only able to spend a few hours at a time whenever they're researching what's below. But this morning, we know that breakthroughs are happening in artificial intelligence and 3D printing technology that could help give scientists the tools to more efficiently study what's in the sea.
Fox News' Chris DeMio is diving in.
It's often said we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about what lies beneath the world's oceans.
A world that is wholly underexplored.
The oceans cover roughly 70% of the planet, but as of last year, less than 25% of the seafloor has been mapped. This according to the latest data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Scientists hope the latest technological breakthroughs can help us better study the sea.
Dive teams can only see so much and go so far.
In Australia, researchers trying to monitor marine life and combat the effects of coral bleaching along the Great Barrier Reef are getting help from an artificial intelligence-powered underwater drone called Hydrus.
We've had to augment our survey methods to include the use of robotics just to enable us to scale, to go deeper, to operate in areas where predators like crocodiles and bull sharks and jellyfish now routinely reside.
While Hydrus can autonomously collect data for up to 3 hours at depths of nearly 10,000 feet, teams at a company called Deep are aiming to build 3D printed underwater research centers. In the future, those hubs could allow scientists to live comfortably while studying the oceans for weeks at a time instead of just completing quick dives.
What we're trying to do is allow individuals to go and be at depths of up to 200 meters for at least a month at a time. And what we're trying to do is buy time, raise productivity for science, for research, and other critical activities that occur on the seabed to happen in a more fluid and safe way.
Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
Chris, thank you. In consumer news now, women using the rideshare service Uber now have some more safety options. Take a look on your screen. Uber says they have added 4 new safety measures to their app. There is now a PIN verification, giving riders the option to get a 4-digit code to make sure they're getting into the correct car. There is also the ride check feature that lets you know if a driver goes off course, stops unexpectedly, or ends a trip early.
There's an audio recording feature in the app that could record your trip and secure that encrypted audio on your phone. Now, it's not accessible to the driver or to Uber unless something gets reported, and then the company could access it. Riders also can share their trip with a friend or a family member for an added layer of protection, again, according to Uber. All or some of the features can be turned on automatically based on time, location, and it can be set for all of your trips as well.
Just about 6:22, and after the break, working to regulate access to guns. We're going to share some updates from the Biden administration's efforts to close the so-called gun show loophole.
Big news here in Tennessee when it comes to girls' sports. Flag football going to be starting officially this fall. We'll tell you about the decision from the TSSAA to make it a sanctioned varsity sport.
Able to pay my bills. I enjoyed you representing me, because I knew I had to have the best.
Watch Crisis in the Classroom only on Fox 17 News.
.24 is the time, and we are following up on breaking news this morning. The Biden administration says they're one step closer to eliminating the so-called gun show loophole. They finalized a rule requiring people who sell firearms online and at gun shows to conduct a background check on potential buyers. Well, the new rule is being finalized just days before the 25-year anniversary of the Columbine High School shooting, which the administration says was carried out in part with firearms bought through the gun show loophole. That's why they're talking about this. The finalized rule, as we understand, is going to go into effect in about 30 days.
Well, this fall, high school girls will be hitting the gridiron. Now, it's not the traditional football game that you may be thinking about. It's flag football, as it officially has become a sanctioned Tennessee high school varsity sport.
A lot of families excited about this. We've had folks in Williamson County leading some of the efforts statewide, along with the Tennessee Titans, to get this done. Just this week, the TSSAA voted to approve girls flag football, making Tennessee the 10th state to do so. We've got a live look over at Nissan Stadium because I mentioned the Titans have backed this.
Yeah.
They've been supporting schools doing this since about 2022 when Williamson County schools first started their program.
Now, along with Williamson County, Metro schools, along with the Clarksville, Montgomery County school systems, have also started their league. Turns out 15%, small number, of the TSSAA member schools are taking part in girls flag football, or at least committed to starting a program.
I was reading more about the TSSAA announcement. You said kind of a small percentage.
15%.
We're talking 60 schools across the state.
Yeah.
60 schools out of about 400.
But enough to get started playing competitively.
Yeah, they're calling it an emerging sport. What that means is for this next year, as an emerging sport, they won't have a state championship for it yet.
Okay.
They've got to get through like this first year period, make sure it's going to stick, and then keep going.
I wonder if pickleball.
If pickleball might not be far behind.
Just wondering.
Hey, let's get a quick check of your forecast. This is your school day forecast. How are things looking for the first bell and after school? Well, a little dreary. 62 degrees this morning as you get out the door. Chance for rain or some showers, perhaps a thunderstorm here or there. And then pretty much the same story when they get out of school this afternoon. So maybe grab the rain jacket or an umbrella so you're prepared. And I would say be on standby for your after school activities if they are outside. So track and field, soccer, baseball, softball. Be on standby in the event that those games get canceled.
Steer clear traffic. Let's take you over to the west side. Let's go to I-40, 46th Avenue there. On that drive, you're looking very, very nice. No big problems for you out there this morning as you get out and about. Of course, we know things can and will change as you get out there on the roads later this morning. We're going to continue to keep you up to date, but so far, so good.
A bill that aims to stop so-called abortion tourism for children and teenagers. We've got the latest in the journey to become law.
And a live look where I spent a lot of hours as a teenager, and that's over at Rivergate Mall. Big changes are coming to the mall. We're going to tell you about the future.
It is our priority. Play free games for a chance to win money. Play this month's featured game for a chance to win $100 or $1,000. Go to KFDM.com and you can win money.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, we're taking a look at the future plans for the Rivergate Mall. It's been around since back in 1971, but things are quickly changing in Goodlettsville.
A live look right now from Metro Center, the heart of Nashville, looking out toward the Cumberland River. Definitely an overcast start to the morning. You're going to run into some rainstorms, perhaps a shower or two here, maybe a thunder boomer, but nothing to be concerned about. No code red. We'll get an update in moments from Greg.
I-40 at Donaldson Pike on that drive coming in from the area around BNA. No problem so far. We're going to show you where the slowdowns could begin coming up in a few.
All right, Justin, thanks so much. And thanks for joining us for Fox 17 News this morning on your Thursday. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. This Thursday morning, we are hearing more about the training that would be necessary for Tennessee teachers and staff members if they are allowed to carry guns in schools. Now listen, the Senate passed the plan Tuesday.
The director of training at Royal Range, who used to train Metro Police, tells Fox 17 News the 40 hours of training, as it's stated in this bill, would not be enough. He says teachers would need to know things like how to hold a pistol, how to aim correctly. They would need room entry training, which he says is critical in a school shooting situation. He says those topics alone would require a lot more than 40 hours worth of training.
So in law enforcement, we always had to work on gun retention. Like if you try to get it, how do I defend it? What are the tools I use to make you stop trying to get my gun? So there's a whole nother problem.
Fox 17 News also reached out to Senator Paul Bailey, who sponsored this particular bill. He says he spoke with members of law enforcement who believe 40 hours is adequate. He also says if the bill passes the House, faculty and staff members would work with their SROs as part of the training process.
And we want to hear from you on this topic. We've got a live poll on Twitter right now where we ask the question, do you agree with a bill to allow teachers and staff to be armed in schools? Right now, our poll has 68% of you saying yes. We've had more than 1,300 people vote in it already. You can head to x.com. You can also still use twitter.com. Let us know what you think. You can leave a comment as well. You can see dozens of people have left comments along with their vote. It's live and active right now. Just find us at Fox Nashville.
We do want to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist, because if you look out the window, it's looking pretty gloomy out there, Greg.
Very cloudy for all of us here. Some of us are seeing some pockets of rain that are quickly moving in and then exiting a few of our neighborhoods. Not much happening in Nashville just yet, but we're getting closer and closer. I'd say we're about a half hour out from rain beginning to impact at least the west side of town, taking our way up toward I-40 as we speak. We're not quite there just yet, but we're watching. And when we start seeing rain creep closer to downtown, we'll give you an even more accurate and more, well, we'll show you the radar more often, more frequent look at the radar. Taking a look right here, some decent downpours, also a couple lightning strikes in our southwestern counties. No severe weather, as we mentioned. Right over Mount Pleasant, we're seeing some of those coming down right now. We're moving out toward Tullahoma, Manchester. Eventually, McMinnville is going to get this decent downpour. History of lightning, but not a whole lot happening with it right now. Kind of on and off as it kind of breathes and gets a little extra energy. This area, we want to see more rainfall this morning, because if we do, it will limit storm potential later this morning into early afternoon. We'll have a look at future track for you coming up in a few minutes, and a beautifully warm 7-day forecast that'll carry us into the weekend. That's coming your way in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about to I-40 at Dawson Pike. You make that drive in from BNA. Right now, we're doing really nice on that drive. No big slowdowns that's holding you up really in any direction. We're actually doing remarkably well considering the circumstances we were facing this time yesterday, where we had several road closures and lane closures and all of that going on across the mid-state. Right now, we are accident-free across the interstates, which is very unusual for this time of the morning. Here's a look at I-24 Briley Parkway. Keep in mind, roads are damp, so the possibility of those accidents always loom. We'll continue to watch the roads for you.
In politics this Thursday morning, a bill that would criminalize an adult other than a parent helping a minor get an abortion out of state has made it past the state Senate.
All right, Tennessee, as it stands right now, is one of 14 states where the procedure is illegal, with some exceptions. Now, as we take a look at what's on the table now, Republican Senator Paul Rose had the bill that would have made it a Class C felony. An amendment just before the third and final Senate vote, though, reduced the punishment. So Class C felony, reduced punishment, though. Democrats, who are outnumbered in this, offered a couple of other amendments. One would specify birth control and fertility treatments as not being considered a procedure. The other questions what constitutes recruiting a minor to go have the procedure, which is the language that is currently used in the bill. Both of these amendments failed.
And I also want to point out the version of this bill passed by the House still has the punishment as a Class C felony. So just keep in mind with all of this, giving you the more details, this measure is likely now to be headed to a conference committee vote.
6:36 and happening right now, lots of change just north of downtown Nashville in the Madison Goodlettsville area. Rivergate Mall used to be the crown jewel of this part of town, right? Built in 1971, a bustling, hustling place to be. You know, so many folks who are from this area remember spending time at Rivergate Mall. We've got a live look now from our photojournalist Madison Spraker, and what we've seen over the last several years, though, is an overall decline in this area. Lots of stores that have shut their doors, and people who have moved out, or things that have just overall changed. But now we are starting to see revitalization and more interest.
Yeah, so we also show you a shot. You can see the Chick-fil-A sign right behind it, and that one, we talked about this earlier, is very busy all the time.
It is. Rivergate Mall is up for sale.
Yes.
All right, so Rivergate Mall, you might remember when the Macy's closed, there was a Chattanooga development firm that bought the Macy's building, and a lot of folks thought that they were going to turn that Macy's into something bigger and better. Well, that development firm backed out, and so now the mall itself is up for sale. What's going to happen to Rivergate? That's the big question mark. But in the meantime, places like this Chick-fil-A continue to buzz. The lot right next to Chick-fil-A, which is vacant, could become a new In-N-Out burger. They filed plans to put an In-N-Out there.
And if you want to read more details, previous coverage about the undisclosed price of Rivergate Mall, maybe you're interested, go to fox17.com. We have the details. You never know.
Hey, if you're buying it, let us know, okay? Areas across the South receiving a whole lot of severe weather. Thankfully, we avoided it this go round, but we'll take a look at some brand new video coming in this morning from Texas.
And hey, it's music.
And I never even got a check. I just got a direct deposit into my bank account. It's so easy.
Injured? Hire the largest injury firm in the world. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
.640 is the time. The Ryman Auditorium kicking off a brand new exhibit to celebrate Elvis Presley, as this marks 70 years since Elvis's only performance at the Ryman Auditorium all the way back in 1954.
All right, so you can check out this exhibit. They call it From Memphis to Ryman. The exhibit is going to be open during normal daytime hours. You can get tickets and learn more about it at our website, fox17.com.
6:41 our time, taking a look at your forecast and taking a look at future track. I've been showing you current radar. Here's where we go for the rest of this morning into the afternoon, painting a very good picture of what's out there right now, taking us into the later hours of the morning, and a few showers are going to swing through the Nashville area here in the coming 2 or 3 hours from right now. We're stopping here at lunchtime. This is the one opportunity where we could see a few thunderstorms that might give us some stronger wind out toward the Cumberland Plateau. This all continues to swirl and eventually dies down after around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. And then we're done. Overnight, we dry out. We stay dry for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the forecast. How much rain are we going to get out of this? On top of that half inch we saw overnight, 1 inch of rain likely for many of us as these little clusters of showers and weak storms track through the area. You can always track them on the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You might get that on your iPhone. Curious question. What year was the first iPhone released? 2005, 2006, 2007, or 2008? We'll have the answer in your 7-day forecast coming up on the next check of your forecast.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic as you get out the door. Let's take a look at I-40 at Fesser's Lane. This is over on the east side of downtown. Traffic there moving along pretty well as you get your way out and about there this morning. Let's check in on your overall drive times. How about that? Downtown from Hendersonville to downtown Nashville. 33 minutes right now. Murfreesboro to downtown is at 60 minutes, right at 1 hour. Lebanon to downtown at 39 minutes. As you take an overall look at the map, lots of green out there. Some slowdowns at the typical spots. We'll continue to watch the roads here for you.
At 6:42, taking a look at flooding around the mid-state this morning. We can expect more rain coming today. How that might impact your drive in minutes.
And turkey hunting.
They're ready to have kids. Can I tell you who my favorite is?
Tonight at 7 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Zander Insurance.
Well, this morning on Fox 17 News, we are taking a look at how the weather has impacted other communities. This is video from over in Texas. Yeah, this is from early Wednesday morning. That's when an EF1 tornado, according to the National Weather Service, hit this area. The twister over in Katy, Texas had maximum winds of about 90 miles per hour. And if you look at this video, see the roof, the debris, you can certainly tell that they had some serious issues in that community.
Now, we did manage to, escape without any severe weather here, thankfully, but we do have some spots that typically flood that are seeing high water this morning. In fact, we were over in Belmead earlier this morning. This is at Evelyn Avenue near Harding Pike. I mentioned this is a known spot where they tend to get high water. The reason that it's an issue, and in fact, it became such an issue that they went in and put up high water signs to shut down the road when it does flood like this. So if you live in Belmead, chances are you probably know that this happened, so you'll want to just do your typical workaround and not go through the area this morning. But also other spots, I'm thinking Drakes Creek in Hendersonville. That might be a spot where you see some high water or maybe out of the banks this morning. Just be careful. By the way, the flooding here in Belmead is the result of Richland Creek.
Okay.
And we've been, we've been going out there and covering this since about 2015.
Yeah, and some folks who are new to the area might not be aware of the flooding or the ponding that happens in some of those communities. So we are here to show you and tell you what to be aware of.
That's right.
Yep, and we're going to get to that. And one place you can always go figure out what's going on is on the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. So that kind of ties us into today's curious question. Has to do with the iPhone. What year was the first iPhone released? 2005, 2006, 2007, or 2008?
2005.
Erica's going 05, Jen.
Come on.
Hold on. I'm trying to think if I can connect this to when I got married.
The wheels are turning. Let's see.
Are you going to give us the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Are we doing the answer right now?
Yeah. Shoot from the hip.
I think 05.
Nope.
What?
2007.
You stop it.
Believe
no.
it. Go look it up.
Time cannot be.
See, they didn't even have iPhones when I got married.
Dating myself.
Believe it or not, taking a look there. We are all clear for code red, but we just showed you some areas of some ponding and some flooding. We're going to watch out for some more pockets of heavy morning rainfall, and we'll continue to track those from 7 to 9 when we go become your only live and local news source for that time frame. And taking a look at future track, this does show you a few more showers that are going to bubble up and pull through the area throughout this morning. Here's noon going into the later stages of this afternoon. Less active on the radar. There's one opportunity for the possibility of a stronger storm that would be up toward the Cumberland Plateau late morning into early afternoon. Other than that, we're done with the rain by the time we get to, I would say about 9 o'clock tonight. And then everything dries out overnight. Tomorrow will be just as cool as today. We're at least compared to later on in the forecast. We'll call 60s cool because take a look. On Saturday and Sunday, temperatures upper 70s and low 80s, and will stay in the low 80s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Strong storms crossing the Gulf Coast delivered a heavy blow to some areas, including Port Arthur, Texas. This time-lapse shows rain and winds forceful enough to rattle this tower camera. Preliminary assessments indicate an EF2 tornado hit the area. Now a peaceful turn to Portland, Oregon, and the flowering of stunning spring colors.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Still clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a look here at I-40 at Spence Lane coming in from the east side. Look at that traffic moving along very well. Headlights on. Things starting to dry out a little bit, but things are slowing down. The good news, no major crashes right now that are slowing you up. This is just congestion as people get out there onto the roadways. Taking a look here at I-24. This is at Old Hickory Boulevard in the Antioch, Cambridge area. A lot of traffic getting off here and starting to make that turn towards the Cambridge High School, which is right over here just off camera. But so far, no major holdups out there. Drive times under control.
In your community, a Music City staple opening another location in Tennessee. Talking about some chicken. Prince's Hot Chicken now serving travelers over at Nashville's International Airport. My dad is going to be very happy about this.
I bet. Hey, you can find it at the Gate CD connector at B&A. Prince's said to be the original Nashville hot chicken spot. One day we'll have story time about how it all came to be. We don't have time right now, but it's kind of a funny story. The history for Prince's dates back nearly a century. And they do have lots of other spots in Nashville. In case you're new to the area, you could find one in South Nashville, Antioch, Assembly Food Hall on Broadway, Geodis Park. They've expanded to Knoxville and South Carolina. And Erica, you said you noticed another new spot.
Yes, Jefferson Street in 2025. So next
go.
year, looking forward to it. Let's talk about turkey. Yeah, turkey hunting season does start this weekend. The weather is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, looking pretty good here. About 25,000 hunters bagged a bird last season. And Fox 17 meteorologist Brett Luna joining us now to talk about a couple of things that hunters will need to keep in mind.
Well, that's a sound I know some of y'all are anxiously waiting to hear.
To be able to go out there and hear a wild turkey on the roost, it'll just blow your mind. And if you can experience that and share it with somebody, it makes it even better.
And you don't have to wait much longer. Tennessee spring turkey season opens up on Saturday.
It's exciting because you are communicating with that turkey. That turkey wants you to come to him, but you are trying to reverse nature and call him into you. And so it's an exciting time to be in the woods.
There's a few things you need to be mindful of, though. The season limit on wild turkey is 2 bearded birds. Only one of those can be a jake. A jake is a bird with less than a 6-inch beard and less than a 1/2-inch spur. An adult gobbler will have a longer beard than 6 inches, or a spur a 1/2 inch or longer. He's also going to have a tail fan where all the feathers are the same length all the way around, so it makes a perfect oval.
For those who have never turkey hunted, it is impressive to see a full adult male gobbler come in at full strut, and whether you've got a decoy or he's just sneaking through the woods looking for you, it's impressive. And to have one gobble at you within 20 yards, if you've never experienced it, is something to witness.
The spring turkey season runs until May 26th. For a full list of regulations, you can check out the Tennessee Wildlife website. We'll put a link to that for you on our Fox 17 website. Reporting in Nashville, Brett Luna, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Brett, thank you. We're taking a look at the cherry trees in D.C. and letting you know about how Japan announcing they're going to replace some of these popular and beautiful trees located over at the Bicentennial
This is a national
tidal
mall.
basin. Yeah, over in D.C.
Yeah, so they're on the National Mall. The Prime Minister Fumio Kishida announcing that Japan will help replace some of the cherry trees there in D.C. Hundreds are being ripped out for construction around the tidal basin there, as Erica mentioned. They're repairing some of the crumbling seawall in that area. And the Prime Minister says that they're going to give the U.S. 250 trees to mark our 250th birthday coming up soon, just a couple of years. Japan, by the way, gave the U.S. 3,000 trees in 1912. The blossoms draw millions of people to the nation's capital every year. As a matter of fact, my daughter is there right now.
Oh,
she is taken. They've got, schools around the mid-state send middle schoolers to D.C. for their trip, and so they're experiencing it right now.
The tidal basin area is beautiful with all the trees. Hey, the farmers market back here at home in Franklin, they're expanding. We're going to tell you about which weeknight you'll be able to pick up some produce from your favorite local vendors, those farmers.
And ladybugs, I know they're a pain.
It's Half Price Fair. Save up to 50% in every department. The Electronic Express famous Half Price Fair. It's first come, first served. Starts this Sunday, 10 a.m. at Electronic Express.
Right now, Fox 17 News showing you a live look at the sunrise this morning. The sun is trying to peek out, but it's looking like a pretty gloomy start. The good news is we are not in a code red weather alert, but we are going to see some on and off showers that are going to persist throughout the day. We're also taking a closer look at Friday and your weekend forecast. That is going to be beautiful. Turkey hunting season kicks off this weekend. Maybe you're going to be outside. You are in for a treat.
It's also feeling more and more like lake days are in our near future, and farmers markets as well in your community right now. We go to Franklin, where the farmers market in Franklin is expanding.
And the factory at the Franklin area, that's going to soon be hosting a weekday farmers market options, Wednesday evening markets. In fact, the newly added market is expected to open later this spring. It's going to be held at the Water Tower Plaza every Wednesday evening from 4 to 8 p.m. If you're interested in being a vendor, that's also a good option. You can find those details, how to do that, by going to fox17.com.
6:56. You might not have thought that this would be a way that Las Vegas resorts would deal with pests, but here we are. They're ditching the chemicals and releasing ladybugs. Yeah, this is in the heart of Sin City, where ladybugs will be waging a war against pests that have been bothering some of the resorts here. This is at Resorts World in Vegas. We understand that the ladybugs are going to get out there and try to eat up the aphids, mealybugs, and other insects that are destroying the resort's plants. They spend a lot of money to
make it look good.
To make those resorts look good, yes.
The director says that they've been doing this for years, and they also says sustainability for the hotel is key, and they're really trying to focus on eco-friendly ways to tackle their pest problems.
It can be a bit daunting at first, but again, they're positive for the environment here. They prevent the use of chemicals and pesticides, so it's sort of using nature to help nature.
Yeah, this was the Resort World's third year using the ladybug method. Let's check in now and get you that forecast here with our Code Red meteorologist.
Yeah, taking a look here, meeting our dog of the day as we do our forecast. This morning we have Shy sent in by Tiffany. Oh, beautiful. Look at the smile on the face. Just when can I have a dry dog walk is probably what Shy's thinking right now. Well, let's talk about today in general. There will be pockets of rain on the radar throughout the entire morning and afternoon, much like what we've been seeing so far this morning, and we'll continue to track from 7 to 9. So it's about finding that window of opportunity to get outside, get the quick dog walk in, and then get back inside to avoid the rain. You can send us your photos by going to meteorologist Greg Bobus, that pinned post at the top of my Facebook page. Good place to go. Also, today is National Pet Day, y'all. So we'll be showing a few more of your pet photos from 7 to 9 here as we go and become your only live and local news source throughout that entire time frame. Also, right side of your screen, current temperatures are there. They'll be up during the commercial breaks. We're in the upper 50s to right near 60 degrees.
Greg, thanks so much. So your clear traffic time right now, just a couple of minutes before the top of our 7 o'clock hour. We have a slowdown right now, I-24 at Haywood Lane. Now, this is the usual, nothing out of the ordinary here. As a matter of fact, I-24, all in all, doesn't look too bad right now as we start our 7 o'clock rush. Just a little bit of a brake check as you're coming in this morning from Smyrna, Laverne, and Murfreesboro. Nothing worth a detour at this moment. And in fact, I'm checking TDOT right now. We have no reports of any crashes on our interstate, so that is great news. Fantastic. We'll get another check of steer clear traffic in just a few minutes.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
Hey, do you know someone who is a hometown hero doing amazing things in our community? Because if you do, all of us here at Fox 17 News, we would love to share their story. Ponzi Law and Fox 17 were teaming up to find and award local hometown heroes $1,000.
We've been doing this for years right here on our morning show. We have had the pleasure of honoring veterans, teachers, first responders, church volunteers, folks who are helping military members in our community get back into everyday life. So just great people doing great things in our community. These are our hometown heroes. And if you're thinking right now while you're watching or listening that you know somebody who fits that bill, who is a true hometown hero, we'd love for you to nominate them now. Just head to ponzilaw.com/hometown hero. When you go to that website, you'll tell us a little bit about yourself, since you're the nominator, and then you'll tell us a little bit about the person that you're nominating.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponzi Law.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
This is relevant in charting a course forward. Right, establishing a motive or understanding if there was a motive, or certainly understanding the targets.
The discussion is not over just yet. We're going to share some more details regarding controversy as Covenant School family members do more, trying to keep the school shooter's writings from the public eye.
And at 7 o'clock on the dot right now, protecting children in our schools. The latest on lawmakers' efforts to give teachers the choice to train to protect their classroom with a gun, and the pushback.
And taking a look at a forecast here that has rain on the radar right now. What this means leading into the afternoon. We're going to time it all out for you in your Code Red forecast.
We do want to start by saying thank you, though, for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're so glad to be your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. when those other stations go to their network programming that is pre-recorded national news, but we're here just for you. And we kick off our 7 o'clock hour this morning with a new development surrounding the Covenant School writings. We have family members of the school who are suing to keep anybody from ever seeing the journals. They have filed an ethics complaint as well against a state lawmaker. They're targeting Senator Todd Gardenhire of Chattanooga. He is among those who are suing to make the shooter's records public. He's also sponsoring a bill that would keep third parties like the parents of the Covenant victims from having any say-so when it comes to trying to intervene in public records cases like this one. Now, arguments in the original lawsuit over the shooter's writings are expected to be heard next week. You can bet Fox 17 News will be following that for you.
To make us an accurate or good defender, I have to hold the pistol correctly.
Fox 17 News getting a first-hand look right here at what type of training would be necessary for Tennessee teachers and staff members if they are allowed to carry guns in schools. Now, this comes after the Senate went ahead and passed the plan, trying to get some more updates from you, which is why we spoke with the director of training over at Royal Range. He used to train, he says, Metro Police, and he also says the 40 hours of training stated in the bill he believes would not be enough for these teachers. Fox 17 News, we sent one of our reporters out there to go through some of the training requirements, try to check it out firsthand. Listen now, though, to how Bob Allen says there is only so much you can teach in so little time.
So in law enforcement, we always had to work on gun retention. Like if you try to get it, how do I defend it? What are the tools I use to make you stop trying to get my gun? So there's a whole other problem.
Well, we also reached out to Senator Paul Bailey, who sponsored this particular bill. He says we have law enforcement who believes 40 hours is adequate.
And, you know, we're always engaging with you both on air and online. So let's take a look over this morning at our Facebook page at what you have to say about this story. We asked the question, do you agree with the bill that would allow teachers and staff to be trained and then armed in Tennessee classrooms? Let's take a look here. Rita Parker says yes. And I have worked in a school for nearly 19 years. Rushdie El Hassan says, can't wait for the first teacher to lose patience with a student while possessing a gun. That is a frightening statement for starters, but also his concern. Kim Farler says yes. Vicky Potter says I do. Chris James, yes. Nancy Phillips, yes. Lots of discussion and debate right now over on our Fox Nashville page if you'd like to sound off.
7:03 is our time. What's new this morning is just rainfall that is coming down, and we dodged the bullet when it came to severe weather overnight into this morning, thankfully. Severe weather is not likely for us here, but we have to watch a couple of storms out toward the Cumberland Plateau late morning into early afternoon. Heavy morning rainfall is helping kind of knock that potential down, which is why I'm saying severe weather is not likely for us here. Isolated areas of flooding are possible. We've already seen some ponding in some areas and a few creek beds that have gone a little on the higher side here this morning. Here's a look at Doppler radar. Here's a few showers that have been pretty consistent here out through our easternmost counties. Down toward the south and west, things have picked up a little bit of steam here in the last hour and a half. This is all moving from the bottom left-hand side of your screen to the top right-hand, and we'll keep tracking it for you where it's at and when it gets to Nashville coming up in a few minutes. Right now, we're all clear. No code red threat. Heavy morning rainfall will lead to afternoon potential for thunderstorms. We'll talk through that much more when it comes to a look at future track as well. Once we're done with today, we can finally say goodbye to the rain. We've had a very rainy week on and off, quite a bit of gloominess with it. Right now we're fairly overcast. Temperatures right side of your screen, upper 50s and low 60s. We'll hit 65 this afternoon. And then tomorrow, clouds begin to break and we get into some sunshine and upper 70s to near 80 just in time for the weekend.
Still clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you to I-24 at Ode Franklin Road. This is out there in the Antioch area. Traffic out there moving along without problems. We're doing okay so far coming in from the south and east side. Just typical slowdowns as you get out there on the roads when something changes, and it will. We'll be here to let you know about it. Let's get you to 40 at Fester's Lane, just east of downtown. Traffic there also moving along really nicely. Things starting to bunch up, though, and slow down. The drive time coming in from Murfreesboro, just over an hour right now. We'll give you other parts of town, including a place where we just picked up some debris that's coming up in a few.
Justin, thank you. Right now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, we do have an update now that police are investigating a deadly crash that we talked about as breaking news yesterday.
Yeah, this is the crash that initially shut down I-24 near Harding Place yesterday morning. This morning, we have learned from Metro Police that a 19-year-old by the name of Cavanta Lane died in the crash. She was in this Infiniti right here that went off I-24, crashed through that tree line, and then the car landed behind a building here. Well, the reason police are investigating now is because they have video evidence that shows two people driving to the scene of that crash, not once but twice, and then took off. So they're trying to figure out what those people have to do with it. So their investigation continues.
Coming up, Nashville city leaders are planning for the future of 2nd Avenue. Businesses are already asking for permission to sell on the sidewalks down there. We're going to tell you why the city says they deserve every chance they can get to succeed.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
Off moisture in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:09 is the time. Nashville city leaders are planning for the future of 2nd Avenue. Now, since the bombing happened on Christmas Day a few years ago, businesses have struggled in that area to get back on their feet. Businesses are now asking the city for permission to sell merchandise on the sidewalks to try to capture some of that foot traffic that you may see from all those people down there. The Nashville Department of Transportation is taking up their cause.
If you are not a vendor, if you are not an owner or a business on 2nd, you're not getting a permit. So this is only for those folks that are actually on 2nd Avenue. This is not for someone to come in from the outside and open up. This is strictly for the businesses on 2nd and 2nd only. We really debated this one topic over the sidewalk vending because we wanted to make sure that we did not open up Pandora's box on this. And we wanted to make sure that we were not getting a vendor who's outside 2nd Avenue. The whole point of the tourism zone is to create more tourism for 2nd Avenue because they are going under and they are a full construction site at this moment.
So again, just want to emphasize, this is only for businesses who already operate on 2nd Avenue. They are the ones that are working through getting permission to sell on the sidewalks, not the situation that we saw on Broadway a few years ago where they had all kinds of people selling out there on the sidewalks there. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to hear from Metro Police as they're talking about the future of safety on 2nd Avenue. New developments surrounding an endangered child out of Knoxville this morning. We are learning that there is now 3 children who are reported as missing. Now you can take a look and see all 3 of the children right there, as well as their mother. The TBI says a 20-month-old child named Daisy Hollins, a 4-year-old named Joshua Hollins, they are the ones who are missing. Now police believe their oldest son of Raymond McAlpin is also missing along with the other 2 children. They could be with their non-custodial mother, Tiara Shelton. She is wanted by the TBI for custodial interference. If you have any information about this case, you're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
And coming up, rain still coming down for our 4th day in a row. A fairly rainy morning, what that could mean for any potential afternoon storms. And then we'll detail a much drier weekend.
They just cleared the debris out of the way at I-24 and I-65 northwest of downtown. We're going to tell you about anything else that can get in your way with clear traffic. Plus, cracking down on crime downtown Nashville. Why local residents are calling for some change when it comes to the safety of the...
Means easy cleaning, no grout, and a perfect watertight seal. And a lifetime warranty. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Welcome back. 7:14 is the time, and right now we're talking about bourbon and bubbles. It's back. It's happening over at Geodis Park this weekend, and the weather is certainly going to cooperate. Going to be warm out there and no rain. There's also going to be lots of food and drinks to enjoy. Plus, our Fox 17 news anchor Megan O'Halloran, she is going to be out there emceeing the fashion show. So make sure you get your outfit ready to go and look for her out there. We're also going to have some more Fox 17 News reporters joining over at Geodis Park for this event as well.
I don't know who I was with, what I was doing, how long I was from the bar to my house.
This morning, Fox 17 News continues to look into reports of people getting drugged in Nashville. Now, this is a serious problem and an issue that we have covered extensively here at Fox 17 News.
And right now, our investigative reporter Amanda Chin joining us in studio after hearing Amanda from more victims.
Well, good morning. Since I've aired stories on drugging in Nashville, I have been getting many emails from both visitors and locals wanting to share their experiences with me with the hope that something can change. Now, this particular woman I spoke with tells me she had been visiting from Canada. She's always loved coming here, but this experience tainted her view of Music City. Carly says she only had 1 drink on Broadway and 2 ciders at a different bar over several hours. The last thing she remembers, singing karaoke. The friend with her says she couldn't speak, stand, or even hold her head up. It's something she's never experienced before in her life and wishes there were better protocols in place for testing and keeping bars safe. Now, Carly credits the Safe Bar program, which trains and provides resources to establishments across the city.
They brought me into the hotel lobby. I threw up all over the lobby floor. They got me, or I think someone working in the hotel and my coworker got me upstairs to the room, and I was completely gone. Like she said, like all of your motor skills were completely gone. I called my doctor the next morning and I was like, what should I do? Should I go to a hospital in Nashville? Obviously I'm from Canada, so I was like willing to pay, it's not gonna be free, I get it. And she was like, honestly, at this point, because I think I called her around noon, she was like, it's gonna be out of your system and there's just...
Wow. I'm guessing she was saying there was nothing to do about it at that point. Amanda, what is the testing for a situation like this here in Nashville?
Yeah, so it's actually not so easy to get a test here at the local hospitals. I reached out to all 4 area hospitals here, and 2 of them tell me that the tests are given at the provider's discretion, and you also need to file a police report before even getting to the hospital. So that is just a loophole in itself. And then 2 other hospitals have not provided me with any information. Just to put that into perspective, I started covering this story maybe last July, and those 2 hospitals still have not given me an answer. I know one of them is working on it, and coming up in May, I'll also have more stories on this as well. But I think it's a way for these women and men who experience these types of issues to get some peace of mind, having that test that they can take to be like, hey, this happened to me.
Well, and why do you have to have a police report?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
what if you were at a restaurant? What if you were visiting somebody's house and you suspected that you had been drugged somewhere other than a Nashville bar? Why the police report?
Yeah, a lot of questions here. Amanda Chin, thank you so much for chiming in. And again, to catch up on your previous coverage, Amanda, go to fox17.com.
7:18 your time right now to look at your code red forecast. Starting off with Doppler radar that has been active overnight into this morning. No severe weather, and it's not rain for everyone just yet, but a couple of showers getting closer and closer to the Nashville area. Think bottom left-hand side of your screen pulling almost directly due north for many of these showers, slightly to the east as well. I'm watching this area out toward the Cumberland Plateau and in through southern Kentucky. The more rain we get up there right now, the better we're going to be later today to keep a storm threat down for us. Run-of-the-mill, light to moderate rainfall, though, coming down for us. There have been a few rumbles of thunder, but nothing anywhere close to severe weather. Here's the rest this morning through noon and then 1 p.m. Have to watch carefully again for that possibility of a few showers that get a little bit stronger. And then by the end of the day, things will die down. A little swirling pattern settles in, a few more isolated showers, and then we finally turn off the rainmaker for the week. It's been a long one. Monday was eclipse day. Think about it. That's only a couple days away. We've had rain every day since then. It's felt a lot longer having to contend with it. Taking a look at future rainfall, how much we're going to put down, not much more. And we've already added to most of these totals so far. So keep that in mind. Just the rain we're getting right now is not going to be a big flooding impact for us. Everything has gone down in terms of any flooding potential. Your 7-day forecast, let's spell it all out when it comes to temperature. Right side of your screen, we're starting in the upper 50s to right near 60. Middle 60s today and tomorrow. Experiencing cooler nights the next 2 nights as well. We'll be in the 40s tonight and also tomorrow night. And then right near 80 degrees for Saturday and Sunday. And we'll finally bring the sun out. Unlimited sunshine on Saturday.
Clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you to Vietnam Vets at Gallatin, Pike, and Sumner County. As you make that drive down from the Sumner County area, as you can see out there, traffic moving along pretty well. No big holdups out there for you, but the drive times are starting to really bloom and blossom here in a bad way. So let's get you straight to those drive times here because they're fresh out the oven. Just made these a short time ago. 44 minutes coming out of Hendersonville right now. 73 minutes coming out of Murfreesboro, 49 minutes right now coming out of Mount Juliet. Now, again, no major crashes, just the roads are wet. A lot of people getting out there, so that's what's causing these times to continue to climb and climb. We're going to tell you the very latest happening out there is on the roads, including this drive coming in from the Murfreesboro, Antioch area in just a few.
We have some new information this Thursday morning after a Metro Nashville Public Schools employee is now facing accusations of attacking a student. There is an arrest warrant that says Sullivan Baker was filling in as a substitute teacher back in October when he reportedly shoved a 13-year-old student against the wall. The warrant claims that the student was not listening to the substitute teacher's instructions.
Also, according to the warrant, that teenager hit his head against the wall. Police say Baker admitted to pinning the student. He's now charged with assault and is set to show up in court April 22nd.
A new Beacon Center poll shows that Senator Marsha Blackburn is holding a lead over her opponents. We're going to share some details on what voters are.
Program. Call us now to learn more and sell your house the easy way.
Easy way. Call 299 cash today.
Good morning. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning, 7:24 right now. There is a new Beacon Center poll. By the way, in case you're not familiar, Beacon Center is a think tank watchdog group based here in Nashville. And they have a new poll out that shows Governor Bill Lee is the most popular politician in our state.
However, the poll also shows that only 48% approve of his job performance as governor. This is as the Tennessee Senate race is also gaining national attention.
And another Beacon poll released just yesterday finds Senator Marsha Blackburn on that note with a 16-point lead over her closest competitor, Democrat Gloria Johnson.
Now, Johnson, though, maintains a large 31-point lead over the other Senate candidate, Marquita Bradshaw, in the Democratic primary to run against Blackburn coming up in the November election. So it's our goal to keep you in the know about all things happening right here in the Mid-States. If you want to get more local reporting and national news, you can do so by getting it delivered right to your inbox and signing up for our daily newsletter. You can do all that at fox17.com.
7:25, kind of a gloomy start here to our Thursday. We're starting off decently warm, though, right near 60 degrees. 65 is where we're stuck later today. Cool front moving in will kind of keep us from getting much warmer than where we're at. Morning rain has been pretty consistent out toward the plateau and in portions of southern Kentucky. We've not seen a lot in Nashville just yet, but showers getting a little bit closer here hour by hour, and a few of them will pass through during the rest of these morning hours. Afternoon storms. Those are going to be set up by if we don't get a lot of rain for the rest of this morning. So we have to watch it carefully. We're monitoring future track very closely as well. Once we're done with today, we dry out. Finally, tomorrow will look great for your Friday. Look at Saturday and Sunday. Upper 70s to right near 80 degrees, loaded with some sunshine. Temperatures in the mornings will get a little bit better, but there will take a dip just tonight and tomorrow night into the 40s. I would say make your plans now, but also scan the Fox 17 QR code right there. Excuse me, for your Code Red weather app, because that will help you out for the rest of today to dodge those incoming showers and thunderstorms. We'll get a live look and track the radar for you coming up in a few minutes, and also look at future track for the rest of your day as we go into our 7:30 half hour.
Well, listen to this news from Nashville's Belmont University this morning, as they have landed a record-breaking gift to propel the expansion of the Curb Event Center. They are the College of Entertainment and Music business there.
When we say the Curb Center, this is as in Curb Records. 60 years strong in Nashville. The University Belmont announcing that $58 million gift from industry titan Mike Curb and the Mike Curb Foundation. So they just had a big ceremony to honor all of this, and just wanted to let you know that this is going to change the look of Music Row and Belmont's presence there. This is a two-phase project, we understand, and it's going to really honor the history of Music Row, but also create new collaborations between the music industry and students.
Sounds like a whole lot happening, a whole lot of change coming. All right, let's take a look as you see your clear traffic. No changes here. This is I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway coming through Antioch. You can see there traffic dragging along a little bit. We'll give you your latest drive times coming up in just a few.
And a bill that could prevent anyone other than a parent from taking a minor to get an abortion across state lines. Very controversial subject.
Discover more ways to save big every day. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
I would start with the price and make sure that it lines up with other properties.
Oh, we've got police with a warning right now from Franklin specifically. They've noticed a troubling uptick in rental scams happening in the city. We'll tell you how you can avoid being swindled.
This morning, fairly gloomy and rain just barely avoiding downtown Nashville right now. A new look at the radar will track when it could potentially move into downtown and what that might mean just getting up and out the door.
Steer clear traffic takes us to Antioch, I-24, Hickory Hollow Parkway. Things are moving, but they're moving slowly. We'll give you your latest drive times coming up in just a few.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We appreciate you being here with us. We're your live local news source through 9. And we've got a story right now making both local and national headlines.
Yes, Tennessee's Senate passing a bill making it illegal for anyone other than a parent to take a minor across state lines for an abortion.
Fox 17 News reporter Peyton Muse is joining us live this morning just outside of the Capitol to explain. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, Tennessee is one of 14 states where abortion is illegal and under rare exemptions. Now, Senator Paul Rose sponsors the bill, and originally it would have made crossing state lines for an abortion, again for a minor, a Class C felony, but an amendment actually reduces the punishment.
Amendment 1 changes the offense of abortion trafficking to a Class C felony to a Class A misdemeanor. It clarifies that the offense does not apply when a person has obtained written consent from the parent or guardian.
You should be able to go into other states freely in our country without being hampered by laws that are preventing you from exercising your free will.
Now, again, this bill is one step closer to becoming law, and this measure is more than likely headed to a conference committee. And stick with us at fox17.com, and we'll keep you updated on how this plays out. Reporting live at the Capitol, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
7:32, looking at the radar right now, and some folks seeing some rain for the first time this morning. Others are getting a little bit of a break after a fairly rainy last several hours. Let's take a look at where we sit as far as Nashville goes. Taking a look downtown, still not a whole lot of activity, but a few light drizzly spots that are down toward the south. Take a look at the trajectory of where this rain is coming from. Mainly coming from the bottom of the screen, so from the south to north. Subtly pulling to the east as well. That means that areas that are to the west of Nashville, this rain not necessarily going to impact downtown, but absolutely some decent downpours in the Charlotte area, and you get out toward McEwen. Kingston Springs is a decent shower overhead, and so does Ashland City. Moving up though, Cumberland City, Clarksville, we'll be seeing some rain coming down once again in about 20 minutes. You had some steadier rainfall right around 4 o'clock this morning, and then one more thunderstorm that just popped up here in the last half hour, scooting again to the north, northeast, Lewisburg. If this holds together 13 minutes, you'll start to see a little bit of rain, and then might even hear a few rumbles of that thunder tracking through your area as well. That is what is new this morning, is just these periods of heavy rainfall that will track through. They're going to cause ponding in some spots, especially west of Nashville right now. Taking a look, 7-day forecast, a day where our temperature does not move. We'll be in the middle 60s later on today, and we're already in the lower 60s to begin your Thursday. 2 cool nights in the 40s ahead, and then a nice warm pattern begins taking us into the weekend.
Steer clear traffic takes us to Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, Vietnam Veterans Boulevard at Gallatin Pike. Down from the Sumner County area this morning, traffic moving along, but moving along a little slowly. That is for sure, as things start to get crowded out there along the Sumner County route. That rain coming down does slow things up. And how much does it slow it up? Well, here's our latest drive times this morning. 44 minutes coming down from Hendersonville, 75 minutes coming down from Murfreesboro, 42 minutes coming in from Franklin. We're going to try to take a look down there near the Cool Springs area to show you that drive coming up here in a few minutes.
Justin, thanks. In Operation Crime and Justice right now, an alarming trend in the city of Franklin, according to police, who are seeing an uptick in rental schemes.
Yeah, so it's pretty scary out here, leaving folks stranded without a home and out of thousands of dollars. Imagine this happening to you.
Right. I mean, you think you're moving, you pack up all your stuff, you show up at your new apartment, and they look at you like, what are you talking about? Detective Dan Ogilvie with the Franklin Police Department says more and more people are falling victim to fraudulent rental listings just like that. And most of them, he says, are on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, so he says an imposter will often upload convincing photos or ads online of apartments or townhomes or whatever it is that is up for rent. And then that's when you get the red flag. They're posing as a property owner or realtor, and they ask for money up front for what would be a security deposit or an application fee.
They make it appear that they are the ones taking the pictures. They're the ones in control. They're the ones that have the authority to lease this property out, when in reality, they might not have never stepped foot in that neighborhood, let alone Tennessee.
Well, Detective Ogilvie, who you heard from there, says a lot of people don't even know this is a scam until the moment they go to move in. You think you're showing up to the lease office to get your keys, and they say, we don't have a place for you. So to avoid this, that detective is urging people to be on the lookout for sellers who only want to communicate through text or maybe email. And as Erica mentioned, if they ask you for an upfront payment through Venmo or Cash App, always your best bet to go through maybe a website that is connected to an official leasing agent or office.
Recognize the red flags.
Yeah.
Hey, listen up, hunters. A man pleaded guilty to poaching 2 elk. This happened over in East Tennessee. 34-year-old Preston William Douglas had his hunting license revoked for 5 years, had to give up a rifle and a handgun, and is going to pay $10,000 in restitution.
Interesting here, those elk killed in the North Cumberland Wildlife Management area, which is in East Tennessee, as we mentioned. The TWRA, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency investigators, said after an anonymous tip from another hunter, they found the bodies of a bull elk and a cow elk out in the woods.
Happening now, we are taking a live look, giving you some updates about the Rivergate Mall over in Goodlettsville. We have told you this in the past. It is up for sale. And so many folks are asking, hey, what's going to happen to this once very popular mall?
Oh, yeah. I mean, but here in the last several years, we've seen Macy's close up. We saw the Sears close up. There are very few stores even scattered throughout the mall. We just do have the Dillard's and the JCPenney there, but it is now up for sale. Who might buy it? What would be the price tag? And what would they do with the mall? All those questions we're going to have to wait to find out. But in the meantime, we know as we take a live look here from our photojournalist Madison Spraker, right by the Chick-fil-A there on Gallatin Pike at Rivergate Mall, In-N-Out has filed the paperwork to put in a new restaurant there. We've got a Sprouts coming just across the street too at the old Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, so after the break, we're talking about sports. Getting to know your quarterback, what the Titans head coach learned about Will Levis this offseason.
And right now, a couple of different live looks to kick off your Thursday. We got a bit of a backup.
Spa starting at $29.99. Huge savings on pool tables, game tables, and more.
Spring sale going on now.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by the Higgins Firm.
$7:40 is the time here on this Thursday morning, and happening today, Governor Bill Lee will sign the Tennessee Disability and Aging Act of 2024.
Yeah, we understand that this is going to combine the Department of Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities with the Commission on Aging and Disability, really. So merging here, trying to provide more resources for folks in those communities. The department is meant to serve people who are 60 or older with disabilities. According to the Tennessee Data Center, seniors are the fastest growing age group here in our state.
In your community this morning, a Mount Juliet police officer acted fast and was able to save a man's life, and now he's being called a local hero.
Yeah, in fact, we first found out about this over on Twitter, where a post from Coach A, you can see the tag here at Greatness VB, made this post saying, and I quote the post here, "To the Mount Juliet police officer who brought my father-in-law back to life today at the Waffle House parking lot, I would love to thank you in person. Thank you." So we saw the tweet, reach out to Mount Juliet, and they've responded.
They said the department had a officer who was in the area there at the Waffle House, corporal in this case, Phil Koski, who was able to act in a medical emergency and was able to save that man's life there at the scene. Now that officer is offering prayers for that man's recovery, and it sounds like the recovery is ongoing right now in a good way. So great deal, Corporal. Thank you so much for your quick actions. Well, let's talk about your steer clear traffic. Are you going to be quick into the office or school this morning? Let's go to I-65 at Morris Lane coming through the Franklin area. It looks a lot better than it did this time yesterday, that is for sure. Traffic is moving, doing okay. Overall drive times coming down from Franklin around 44 minutes. Not too bad. It got into the 50s yesterday, so we'll take 40, 45 coming down from Williamson County. We'll watch other sides of town coming up in a few.
And we give you a live look right now as we continue to track the rain as it moves in and out of Middle Tennessee. This live look on Lower Broadway right now. Hey, in case you missed it, we had the news about the Preds making it into the playoffs. Yep. We've got Bridgestone Arena just toward the top of your screen. T-minus about 2.5 hours and counting when you can get those playoff tickets for the Preds out in the postseason. We'll keep you posted on that. Plus,
every day is a good day to love your pets, of course. But
the rays of sunshine are here for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
There are so many jackpots at Oak Grove Gaming, it's winsational.
Cue the music. The Titans officially kicking off their offseason program this week. They get to start a week before the rest of the leagues because they have a first-time head coach.
Okay, so we get a little bit of an advantage here. Brian Callahan, our new coach, learning everything he can about his players, including what makes his young quarterback tick.
Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick has much more on the offense.
Just 2 days into the Titans offseason program, and head coach Brian Callahan is already starting to see his team come together. Players reported to the facility on Monday, and even though it is a voluntary offseason program, Callahan says he's been pleased with the attendance so far and says this week is crucial for him to get to know his players, and that includes his starting quarterback, Will Levis. Levis coming off an impressive rookie year where he had 8 touchdowns in just 9 games in 2023. Coach Callahan saying that even though they're not on the field every day performing, it's been fun to see how Levis's mind works, how he works mentally, and also his dedication to improving his skill set.
It's just from what I've seen so far, and again, I'm still learning Will every day that goes on. But he's got an intensity and an intent to every time he walks in the building. I think you see that in his play. When you watch him play, you see that intensity, that fire that he's got. That's not manufactured. That's how he is.
Now that we're kind of into the football, you really see his brain working and his process through it. And he asks great questions. You know, it's only been 2 days, and he comes back with the questions in the morning. So he'll come in and, hey, what was this? What were we saying this? Why did this mean? And so that's been really cool just to see kind of now that we're getting into the football part, just mentally and in the classroom, how kind of serious he takes it and how much it means to him.
Titans used free agency to go out and get Levis a new offensive weapon, signing former Jaguars receiver Calvin Ridley to a 4-year deal worth $92 million. Ridley, on top of DeAndre Hopkins, now gives Levis a couple more weapons to throw to. It's
hard to probably understate the help that provides, where you have 2 really veteran players that have experience in the NFL. They've done it, for lack of a better term, and to have experienced players around a young quarterback certainly helps, because they're not necessarily always learning the same lessons together.
As far as the Titans playbook goes, Coach Callahan says that it's, quote, a living document. It's changing day by day as the staff continues to add to it, and he says they want to add everything as much as they can so then they can see what the team is best at. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Jonlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
All right, Jill, thanks so much. 7:48 is your time right now. Did you know that today is National Pet Day? And I know we're showing some cute little pups and kittens, but maybe you have an iguana or
a pet pig like Jennifer.
You've got a little petunia at home like we do. But yeah, National Pet Day, and an interesting twist today. As a hope here is that animals that are up for adoption get a little extra attention.
Yeah, so I know we've had some Fridays here where we have checked out some of the animals that are available for adoption at different shelters, including the Murray County Animal Shelter. They've been in studio here. That comes to my mind top first.
Oh, okay. So we're taking a look at some of your photos. I was just checking our Facebook page. We've got close to 400 pictures right now of your pets. We asked, and boy, did you deliver. This is Dude. This picture coming to us from Jessica Doster. What a handsome looking boy.
Hey, Dude. And then John Shoemaker sharing these photos of those adorable kittens. Oh my gosh, look at these faces.
What kind of cats are those?
So fluffy.
They remind me of Taylor Swift's cats. They've got the little smush face.
Yes.
It's so cute.
Those are so cute. We're also showing you some unique animals. Hey, look at these. Yeah, Rosemary Alfieri says these are some of her outdoor critters. A donkey.
Yep. That's definitely done.
Like we said, it's National Pet Day. Whatever your pet
is.
Might be. Maybe you have a ferret or a gerbil.
This makes me want to reshare the photo of Jennifer's pet pig, Petunia.
Yes, so we do have a pet pig. Her name is Petunia.
She's so sweet.
She got so big, though, that we had to send her to our friend's farm.
She's a big gal.
To live in the barn, because she's a big girl. She's
a Petunia counts.
Real big girl.
Oh, gosh.
And no, she's not going to become bacon, for all of you who might be wondering. No.
I got to feed her, though.
Petunia's safe.
Petunia gets to live her
Safe
life
and sound.
now. Getting fat on the farm. I'll share the picture. Okay, Erica.
You have to. And keep sending in your photos, too. We're going to keep putting them in the newscast all the way until 9 o'clock. And, I mean, this is not just Dog of the Day. It's Pet of the Day. We love all the animals. And that's just what we do here at Fox 17. Taking a look here. Doppler radar. I keep looking at it for you about every 5 minutes because things are progressing a little more than they were even an hour ago. Not so much in the Nashville area. A couple little light sprinkles have been out there. Going off to the north and the west, you'll see the trajectory of all this is moving it from south to north for the most part. Not much of an easterly movement just yet for our showers that are out there. These all started down by the Alabama state line, as a matter of fact, and now they're moving toward the north. Clarksville, you had rain around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You've had a break since then. Gear up for more. But places like Charlotte, Ashland City, Dickson, even Waverly soon, this will move away from you. This is quickly moving at about 35 miles an hour, meaning it's going to scoot right up toward the state line here before we even get to 8:30. One area we're watching very closely that had a lot of rain overnight was steady, light rainfall. These counties right here, talking Cumberland Plateau out toward the southern Kentucky area as well, are in a marginal risk for severe weather later today, meaning a Category 1. Only a few of our counties. It would be for a wind risk here late morning into early afternoon, but more rain and cloud cover that we get here throughout the morning, the more helpful it's going to be to keep that severe weather away. Taking a look at future track for us for the rest of this morning, continuing that north or that south to north movement here with slow progression to the east. This is the next 6 hours. Here's 1 p.m., 1 o'clock into 3, 4, and 5. By that time, any stronger storms way out of here. Now we're just talking about a few run-of-the-mill wraparound showers because of that system moving in. We'll be done with the rain overnight tonight into tomorrow, and then we have a fantastic looking weekend ahead of us. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast and find the warmer times ahead. Before we get to the upper 70s on Saturday and low 80s on Sunday, we have to go through 2 cooler nights. Right side of your screen right now, we're in the upper 50s to near 60, but tonight, tomorrow night, we'll be in the 40s when you wake up the next morning.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to I-40 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is over in the Hermitage area. Traffic is moving along out there. We had a report of an earlier crash right here at I-40 at Old Hickory Boulevard. We never saw it on the cameras. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm just saying that we never saw it here. We are seeing a bit of a backup here coming in from the Mount Juliet area. That would explain why the drive time got to be as large as it was coming in. So you can always take Lebanon Pike as a good way to steer clear. Central Pike might even help you a little bit as well. We'll watch other areas of town coming up in a few.
Maybe you're visiting this weekend, new to Nashville. There is a downtown exhibit right in Nashville taking a closer look at Elvis Presley. His memorable Nashville performance at the Ryman Auditorium on display.
And just a very good Thursday morning to you. Thanks for joining us. We're grateful to have you join us for a part of your morning routine.
Night. Welcome to Smashville.
Welcome back. Time right now, 7:55, and it is National Pet Day, but we also always do our Dog of the Day. So one extra little spotlight here for Shy, our Dog of the Day, sent in by Tiffany. And I'll tell you right now, if any other dogs out there are like mine, they're sick of this rain and want to have a nice dry dog walk. Take a look here. Can't guarantee it for everyone right now. The rain is not there for everyone, but the overcast, gloomy sky, that is there. Temperatures upper 50s, low 60s. We're going to keep riding that temperature wave right along that middle 60 ground into the afternoon and not get any warmer than that. So keep that in mind. There will be some dry periods. You got to find them though. The Fox 17 Code Red Weather app is your best tool to do that. You can send in your pet of the day photos to our Fox 17 Nashville Facebook page, or you can chime in on fox17.com. You submit your dogs of the day on my Facebook page, meteorologist Greg Bobus. That's how they end up right here on our newscasts. Today, 65 degrees. This morning, rain could lead to a few afternoon storms. The latest look at future track and a very warm upcoming 7-day forecast. That's coming right at you as soon as we get to the beginning of our 8 o'clock half hour.
Steer clear traffic takes us east of town. This is going to be I-40 at Elm Hill Pike out there. Of course, the camera has decided it wants to go into a replay mode. There we go. Come on. Here we go. Sometimes you just got to slap it at the right spot. It'll come on back. That is where we are looking at traffic that is easing its way in, but it's doing so across a very narrow little spectrum there, and it is slowing things down. The wet conditions also making things a little bit slow for people making that drive in from the east side. You can always use Elm Hill Pike itself, or Lebanon Pike is the best way to steer clear as you make that drive in from the east side. We're going to check out some other areas of town coming up in a few, but so far no major crashes that will slow you up.
If you're making your weekend plans, let you know the Ryman Auditorium is kicking off a new exhibit celebrating Elvis Presley. This particular exhibition is going to mark 70 years since Elvis's only Ryman performance, which was back in 1954.
You can check it out. They've called it From Memphis to Ryman. And again, it's with any Ryman Auditorium daytime tour. and your ticket that you get for that. You can learn more about it on our website, fox17.com. And speaking of our website, we have a Music City staple that just opened another location in Tennessee, and it's trending over at fox17.com.
Prince's Hot Chicken is now serving up travelers at Nashville's International Airport, a very busy spot. Hungry passengers, you can find it out at B&A's Gate CD Connector, okay? As the hot chicken phenomenon just sweeps across the South, Prince's, some say, is the original, with a rich history dating back to nearly a century. So if you want to read more about this, go to fox17.com.
Hey, speaking of food, in your community, the farmers market in Franklin is expanding their hours. In addition to the Saturday morning farmers market, the factory at Franklin will now be hosting Wednesday night markets.
The newly added market is expected to open later this spring. It's going to be held over at the Water Tower Plaza every Wednesday evening from 4 to 8 p.m. If you're interested perhaps in being a vendor, making some money, you can find out some information that also is on our website. Once again, it's fox17.com.
Hey, looking ahead to this fall, have you heard the news from the TSSAA? They're now including girls flag football as a sanctioned Tennessee high school varsity sport.
On Tuesday, the TSSAA voted to approve the sport, making Tennessee the 10th state to make this happen. The initiative, also backed by the Tennessee Titans, who have been supporting schools since 2022. That's when Williamson County Schools began their particular program.
So interesting. We've got about 400 public high schools across Tennessee. 60 of those 400 are participating. They're considering this an emerging sport for the first year, which means they don't get to play a state championship just yet, but that could be happening as we get into the next school year. So a lot to look forward to here in the fall.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
This is relevant in charting a course forward, right? Establishing a motive or understanding if there was a motive, or certainly understanding the targets.
This Thursday, the discussion is not over yet. More controversy as Covenant family members do more, trying to keep the school shooter's writings from the public eye.
And protecting children in our schools, the latest on lawmakers' efforts to give teachers the choice to train to protect their classroom with a gun, and the pushback.
And waking up to rain on the radar. I've been tracking it all morning long. What it means for any potential afternoon thunderstorm activity, we'll let you know that in just a few minutes.
Thank you so much for joining us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Getting straight to our top story, new this 8 o'clock hour. We begin with the debate after the Covenant school shooting here in Nashville. There's a new development surrounding the Covenant school shooter's writings. Family members of Covenant victims are now trying to keep anybody from seeing those journals, and they've now filed an ethics complaint against a state lawmaker. They're targeting Senator Todd Gardenhire, who's from Chattanooga, because he is among a whole group of people and entities suing to make those records public. He is also sponsoring a bill that would keep third parties, such as the Covenant parents, from having a say-so when it comes to intervening in a public records case like this. Now, as for the original lawsuit trying to get the shooter's writings released, that is set to be heard coming up next week.
To make us an accurate or good defender, I have to hold the pistol correctly.
In Crisis in the Classroom, Fox 17 News getting this firsthand look at what type of training will be necessary for Tennessee teachers and staff members if they're allowed to carry guns in schools. And this comes after the Senate passed the plan, so now we're getting some more details. We had the opportunity to speak with the director of training over at the Royal Range. He used to train Metro Police, and he also tells us that the 40 hours of training stated in the bill he believes would not be enough for the teachers. Fox 17 News, we also sent one of our reporters to go through some of the training requirements. Listen right now, though, to how Bob Allen says there is only so much you can teach in so little time.
So in law enforcement, we always had to work on gun retention. Like if you try to get it, how do I defend it? What are the tools I use to make you stop trying to get my gun? So there's a whole nother problem.
We reached out to Senator Paul Bailey, who sponsored this particular bill. He says that we have law enforcement who believe 40 hours is adequate.
And we're always engaging with you on air and online, so let's take a look over on our Facebook page to see what some of you have to say about this topic. And as you would imagine, a lot of disagreement. over there. So let's take a look at some of your comments right now as we go to our Facebook page. We've got one comment right now from Shannon Medley who says, absolutely, no more soft targets. Good job, Tennessee. Steve Smith says yes and no. I think the money should be spent on bulletproof glass and limited access and one police officer. But hey, who am I? Anyways, and then we have Jeff Morrow saying yes, since we can't afford SROs in every school. You have an opportunity right now to sound off, let your voice be heard. You can find this story right now on our Fox Nashville Facebook page.
8:03, tracking some rain here in your code red forecast to wake up to, and that's going to continue on and off throughout this morning and early afternoon. Most of our rain right now is in our northwestern counties, and we'll take a look at where that's headed. Nashville, we've actually missed almost all of the rain overnight into this morning. We had some showers before 2 a.m. Those lifted to the north, and since then, fairly quiet radar picture. A little bit of wet pavement out there in some spots, but nothing that we can't handle compared to some mornings we've seen recently. Let's take a look out toward the north and the west. Clarksville, yep, we told you about 10 minutes ago that rain was going to get closer and closer. Now it has encapsulated you again. Could even get a rumble or two of some thunder over all the way out through the Clarksville area. This is going to lift into southern Kentucky in the next 20-25 minutes. At least the beginning edge of that will begin to track out of Middle Tennessee. 63 degrees right now in Nashville, fairly overcast, but again, relatively rain-free aside from a sprinkle or two over the last couple of hours. Temperatures are holding in the upper 50s to low 60s for all of us. We're only going to be up to 65 degrees later on this afternoon. Not the warmest of days, but that's okay, because by the time we get out of today, first we turn off the rain. That stops overnight tonight into tomorrow. Then we bring back the sunshine on Saturday. Then really warm air moves in, and we'll be at least at 80 degrees, if not warmer than that, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with at I-65 at Trinity Lane. There on the north side of town as traffic comes into downtown Nashville from that north side. Madison, Hendersonville, Goodlettsville, Millersville, all the villes coming down I-65 past Trinity into town. Typical traffic from this side of things. The traffic here on the outside lanes are probably going up towards Rosa Parks, towards the Metro Center area. The traffic here on these lanes will be headed towards downtown, towards Nissan Stadium. So you got that split there, and that's why traffic does slow down a lot at this particular spot. I-40 at Fester's Lane, again, approaching another split into town this morning. Typical traffic from that side. Here are your drive times here. Just updated them for you. Hendersonville at 41 minutes. Murfreesboro, 72 minutes from Rutherford County. 67 minutes. Not too bad at all coming down from Clarksville.
We have an update this Thursday morning now that police are investigating a deadly crash that we brought you as breaking news yesterday.
Let's take a look at the video of that Infiniti crashed out. This is just off Metroplex Drive, which is right on the other side of I-24 near Harding Place. This morning, we've learned from Metro Police that 19-year-old Kavanta Lane died in the crash that happened right around 2:30 yesterday morning.
And police say Lane's car veered off the westbound lanes of the interstate, went across the grass, and ultimately into the woods. Now police say, listen to this, that video from the area shows two people driving to the scene of the crash twice and then leaving. The investigation right now is ongoing.
At 8:06 right now, just ahead, Nashville city leaders are planning for the future of 2nd Avenue. Businesses already asking the city for permission to sell on the sidewalk as well. The city says they plan to give businesses a chance to succeed. Justin McFarland will dive into that story.
To enroll, check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Southeast Financial Credit Union.
.09 is the time. Nashville city leaders are planning for the future of 2nd Avenue. Now, since that Christmas Day bombing of a few years ago, businesses have really struggled to get back on their feet. The entire area really is a construction zone. A lot of the sidewalks even closed for people to walk up and down 2nd Avenue right now. But they're ready for that to change. And the city is asking for permission to allow businesses to start selling out there on the sidewalks. But you got to be a part of 2nd Avenue businesses before you open up such a thing. Metro Police are also talking about the importance of putting safety at the forefront as pedestrians start to return to 2nd Avenue.
Unfortunately, the police can't be everywhere all the time, and we do have a good entertainment district unit that deals with all of the things on Broadway and downtown. But I was just asked that you all have a conversation with the district and the partnership, about what it would look like to possibly have a healthy security presence on 2nd Avenue when things get up and running in their entirety.
Now, there's no word yet on when street vending could begin on 2nd Avenue, but again, they want to emphasize the street vending will just be for the existing businesses that are already there in order to try and draw in more of that foot traffic. Well, happening right now, Rivergate Mall in Goodlettsville is up for sale, and many folks are asking exactly what is going to happen to the surrounding businesses at Rivergate Mall. Our Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker is live right now in Goodlettsville, Rivergate, with a look at that area. Of course, you can see the Rivergate Mall sign that is there right next door to the Chick-fil-A. This is all there on Gallatin Pike as you make that drive in. Lots of things have changed around that area since the mall opened up back in the early 1970s. The Chick-fil-A has been there since at least 2002, but they're expecting more things to change. The BJ's, it's a wholesale, sort of like a Sam's Club or a Costco. It just opened up in February. As a matter of fact, there is construction happening in that area for the fuel pumps. That is at the location of the old movie theater there in the Rivergate Mall area. There's no price tag on the mall either. We just know it's a lot of square footage over there that is up for sale for the right price. So we'll see what happens. One thing is for sure, whatever happens to Rivergate Mall will have a huge impact on those who live nearby, not just in Madison, but in Goodlettsville and all across Sumner County.
Coming up, we're waking up very gloomy with some showers still on the radar. How that morning rain translates to potential thunderstorms that could be on the strong side for a few of us. We'll take a look at that and then look at a drier weekend as well.
S protection.
Hey there, 8:14 is the time. Right now we're taking a live look over at Geodis Park, letting you know if you're making plans this weekend, maybe you want to check out Bourbon and Bubbles. There's going to be a lot of drinks and foods for you to enjoy. Also, Fox 17 News anchor Megan O'Halloran is also going to be out there. She is hosting a fashion show that they're having at this particular event. So be sure to check her out. Say hello over there at Geodis Park.
Can't help but look at the skyline here either. Don't be concerned about the clouds. I know they're moving fast and looking like things are kind of dipping down out of the sky. We are not monitoring any severe weather right now. Perhaps just a rain shower or a thunderstorm popping up here throughout the day. All right, let's get to a big story that's impacting Nashville this morning. The Big Three Basketball League is coming to Music City. It's a 3-on-3 league that started back in 2017 and features former NBA as well as international players.
All right, sounds exciting. Joining us now is a man who has so many titles, right? Musician, actor, producer, and co-founder of the Big Three. We're talking about Mr. Ice Cube.
Tickets on sale today. Good morning. We are excited to have this here in Nashville. How you feeling about coming to Music City?
I feel great. You know, we've been trying to get there for, it seemed like 6-7 years, and it just didn't work out schedule-wise. And we made sure we came this year. And what's cool is we're bringing the playoffs. So when we come on August 11th, we're going to have some great games, great matchups, some of the cream of the crop of the league, going at it to see who's going to the championship.
Can we talk about, we do want to ask you about Caitlin Clark. On social media, you were talking about getting Caitlin Clark on your team. Can you answer? Is she responding to that request?
Yeah, we're talking to her team. You know, we're going back and forth and, you know, trying to see if they're open to this offer. You know, we believe we've moved the needle when it comes to women's sports. You know, whether she takes it or not, you know, it's a new day when it comes to women in sports and getting paid the right way. So, you know, we're allowing her to play in our league and play in the WNBA if she takes the contract. So, we're being very accommodating to her.
I mean, listen.
We hope she ball out.
$5 million, that would be hard to turn down. Okay, Ice, Mr. Cube, if I may. What are you going to look forward to the most when you come to Nashville? Just in general. I mean, are you down for the food here? Are you going to the museums? Are you going to be shopping at Green Hills Mall? What are you going to do in your spare time here?
I mean, I just love the atmosphere. I've been in Nashville a few times, and it's just that party atmosphere that you don't get in a lot of places. So, the traditions are rich there, and it's just a great place. We did Memphis last year, so we was like, it's time to take it down the road.
Memphis. Okay, whatever. Yada, yada, Memphis. We're excited about Big 3 coming to Nashville. I want to see you, Ice Cube, taking the mic to do karaoke at Nudies. Can we make it a date?
No need to do karaoke. I could do the real thing. I'll definitely grab the mic at the game and, jump on the court and drop a couple songs. I might do It Was a Good Day. People love that song.
Yes. All right. We are here for it. Listen, can you we're tossing it right now to our meteorologist, Greg. Can you send us out with a little line or two as we go to the weather?
Hey, Greg. Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kind of odd.
Hey! Ice Cube, thank you so much. We need to get him here in studio.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I mean, Erica, Jen, I love both of you, but anytime you guys throw the weather from now on, you're not going to beat that, or I'm going to have some heavy requests going forward. Taking a look here, when it comes to our severe weather outlook, we've been talking about the possibility of storms later on this morning and toward the afternoon, only out toward the Cumberland Plateau, but every little shower we've been getting this morning has been dialing back that chance. We're only worried about wind a little bit later on today if that does come to fruition. So take a look here. We have temperatures that are going to hold steadily in the mid-60s throughout today. 2 p.m., this is when we're going to be watching for a couple of those storms that possibly fire for us here. Between about noon and 2 is now kind of our wheelhouse for watching for any potential stronger storms. After that, by the evening hours, everything moving out for us here and looking really good to go. By tomorrow, we are dry. We're completely done with the rain going into the upcoming weekend. We'll talk about a 67-degree high for your Friday. 79 degrees on Saturday and 82 degrees on Sunday. I want to talk about the nighttime temperatures a little bit as well, because we're going to bounce around here with a few things. Either way, whether or not we get thunderstorms this afternoon, a cool front going to slide in. You're going to feel it more so tomorrow morning and Saturday morning than you will during the afternoons. Right now, if you look at the right side of your screen, we're in the upper 50s and close to 60. We're going to be in the 40s the next 2 mornings. Not cold, but it will catch you off guard if you think it's going to feel the exact same when you're walking out the door.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 8:20. Let's take a quick look at what we're dealing with at I-65 as you make that drive in from Dickerson Pike just north of town. As you make that drive in, notice things are a little bit slow on the inside lanes. The outside lanes moving along pretty well. As you make your way towards Clarksville eventually is where this road will take you if you ride it all the way up to the I-24 split there as you make that drive up towards Pleasant View, places like that. Here's the drive in from I-40 at Fester's Lane. No crashes out here so far this morning. We're doing okay. So far, we'll continue to watch the road, but have to say today is a good day.
Cracking down on crime
which may cause kidney problems. So keep on believing, because it's not just about the weight you lose. It's about everything you gain. Believe on. Wegovy.
I don't know who I was with, what I was doing, how long I was from the bar to my house.
This morning, Fox 17 News continues to look into reports of people getting drugged while they are visiting downtown Nashville.
It's an issue that we have covered relentlessly here for Fox 17 News. Amanda Chen joins us here in studio as she's hearing from even more victims of this. Amanda?
Yes, good morning. Well, since I've aired stories on drugging in Nashville, I have been getting many emails from both visitors and locals wanting to share their experiences with me with the hope that something can change. Now, this particular woman I spoke with tells me she had been visiting from Canada. She's always loved coming here, but this experience tainted her view of Music City. Carly says she only had one drink on Broadway and 2 ciders at a different bar over several hours. Now, the last thing she remembers is singing karaoke. The friend with her says she couldn't speak, stand, or even hold her head up. It's something she's never experienced before and wishes there were better protocols in place for testing and keeping bars safe. But Carly does credit the Safe Bar program, which trains and provides resources to establishments across the city.
I definitely think making testing easier and not having to file a police report and doing it being at your disposal when you know something's wrong, because at the end of the day, I know my body. I know how much I can tolerate with alcohol. I know all this, and I know for the fact that going from speaking like we're speaking right now, singing on stage, to literally 10 minutes later being completely not able to speak, stand, or hold my own head up, that's not normal.
Wow. Amanda, we know it's difficult for hospitals to test for these kind of drugs. Is that right?
Yeah, so the one big thing about this types of drug, it goes out of your system so easily. So it's so pertinent to get a test as quickly as you can. However, the hospitals here don't really make it as simple as it may seem. 2 of the hospitals, you have to file a police report first, and then it's provided at the provider's discretion. So the doctor could decide we don't want to give you the test, so it's really up to them to decide. And the 2 other area hospitals haven't really given us answers yet. I know one of them, they're working to get us answers, but I've been trying to get some answers and clarification from hospitals for over a year now, so I'll continue to work on that. And we also have a story coming up in May as well for following this issue as well.
Yeah, Amanda, when you think about all the issues that we're facing in the heart of our tourist district, this being one of the most important, we know you'll continue pressing to get those answers. Thank you.
In the meantime, let's get to your forecast. Greg Bell is standing by.
8:26 your time. Temperature right near 60 degrees, 65 this afternoon. This is not one of those days where we warm up all that much and there will not be a whole lot of sunshine out there. A mainly cloudy day with some morning rain that has been tracking in and out of the area. Really kind of on and off throughout the morning when it comes to our hometowns. Afternoon, a few storms are possible. Can't guarantee you anything that in terms of severe weather, but there is a chance if we get east of I-65 and north of I-40 where we could see 1 or 2 stronger storms that might pack a little bit of wind. We're talking gusts up to 40 or 50 miles per hour. As of right now, though, it's been raining a lot in those areas, so hopefully that rain helps keep the atmosphere a little more tame this afternoon. Very warm, upper 70s, near 80 degrees for your weekend. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. If you're not making plans already, start doing it right now. Tons of sunshine. The mornings a little bit cool. We'll be in the 40s and 50s, but the afternoons up near 80 both of those days. I'm going to give you a new look at your 7-day forecast as we go into our 8:30 half hour. Also an update to Future Track. You're going to want to see them both. One will help out with the rest of our rain today, and the 7-day forecast. I've added a couple degrees to a few days. Very warm leading into next week.
Saw 82 there. All right, thank you, Greg. Let's take a look at your steer clear traffic. I-65 at Waldron Road. Making that drive in from Rutherford County. So far, so good. We'll take a look at other areas of town.
And a story that has certainly made local and national headlines. A lot of controversy here. The proposal in Tennessee to prevent anybody
moisture in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Alive Hospice. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
I would start with the price and make sure that it lines up with other properties.
You got to check it and check it twice. The Franklin Police Department noticing a troubling uptick in rental scams happening throughout their city. We'll show you how you can avoid being swindled.
Waking up here a little bit gloomy. We've avoided most of the rain in Nashville, but a few showers are going to track through later on this morning, and there is a small storm potential for the afternoon. We're going to break down your forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to Waldron Road in the Rutherford County area. We're doing okay there. We'll take you back into town for some other traffic updates coming up here in just a second.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News. It's a Thursday morning. Baby Friday. I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Let's get to some of our top stories here on your Thursday morning, including this one developing now in Tennessee. Our state Senate has passed a bill making it illegal for anybody other than a parent to take a minor across state lines to get an abortion.
Right now, Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse is joining us live right outside of the Capitol with updates regarding this story. Good morning, Peyton.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So state lawmakers working out of the Capitol, they've made abortion illegal here in Tennessee, and it is one of the 14 states that makes makes abortion illegal, and abortion is illegal under some rare exemptions. Now, this bill, and originally it would have made crossing state lines for a minor to get an abortion a Class C felony, but an amendment reduces the punishment.
Amendment 1 changes the offense of abortion trafficking to a Class C felony to a Class A misdemeanor. It clarifies that the offense does not apply when a person has obtained written consent from the parent or guardian.
You should be able to go into other states freely in our country without being hampered by laws that are preventing you from exercising your free will.
Now this bill is making it one step closer to becoming law, and the measure is more than likely headed to a conference committee. We'll keep you updated on how this plays out. Reporting live at the Capitol, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your code red station.
8:33 and our latest check of your radar here this morning. It has been a very different radar picture almost every 10 minutes due to how fast these showers and weak thunderstorms have been moving. They've been moving from the bottom left-hand side of our screen almost due north, barely with a little easterly component to it. So we'll see what this means for what's up right near the Clarksville area momentarily, but Nashville, somehow we're still dodging most of these showers this morning. Good news there. Hasn't really slowed us down too much, but there will be a chance for a few more of them to skirt past the downtown area as we go into the next couple of hours, and especially toward the afternoon. Clarksville, you're almost done with this second batch of rain you've seen overnight into this morning. Now we're talking about Hopkinsville and Cadiz. You're right on the line of this. I'm talking within a matter of mere minutes. We're going to go back into some heavier rainfall. No lightning with any of this. Lightning indicator turned on. It's just moderate to heavy rainfall. So there will be some pockets of some puddles there for you very shortly. Taking a look, going for another thunderstorm here. Only one boom of thunder here in the last 10 minutes, but 3 in the last 15. Pulling away from the Gallatin area, moving its way just to the west of Lafayette and moving up across the state line into southern Kentucky here in about 20 minutes. Area we're watching, circled right here, where we've had showers overnight into this morning. This is an area west, or I should say east of I-65, north of I-40 that has a chance. We could see a few stronger storms with some gusty wind late morning into early afternoon. Not code red worthy, but watchable for us here. We're not really anticipating severe weather, but some windier and stronger storms can't be ruled out. Heavy morning rainfall, you're seeing it right there for yourself. And then isolated areas of ponding, we've seen those this morning. You'll see a couple more leading into the afternoon. We'll look at your 7-day forecast. If you like the number 80 or anything above it, I might give you 4 or 5 of those in the next 7 days. So that's coming up in a few. A little upside.
Well, I like 80, Greg. I don't like 103. That's above 80.
Yeah,
so,
point.
Just it's got to be, got to put a limit there. Let's talk about I-24 at Haywood Lane. As you make that drive into Nashville this morning, coming from the Antioch area, we're doing okay. Things are a little bit wet out there as those showers have been hit and miss that Greg has been talking about throughout the morning. So heads up there. How about the drive coming in near the airport? I-40 at Donaldson Pike. No big problems out there. Keep in mind they're doing major construction there at the airport. So please keep in mind they've eliminated one exit recently. I confess, I honestly drove past the exit I was supposed to use because I was expecting 216C to be there, and it's not there anymore.
Right now, we are following breaking news out of Kentucky. That is where police are trying to track down a man to question him in connection with several commercial burglaries. So go ahead, take a look at these photos on the screen. Hopkinsville police trying to identify this man that you're looking at. They say they want to question him about multiple commercial burglaries in the area of Fort Campbell Boulevard and Skyline Drive. Again, it's over in Kentucky. If you're looking at these photos, maybe you have some information that can help police. Give them a call. That number, though, is going to be 270-889-TIPS.
And Operation Crime and Justice right now, an alarming trend in the city of Franklin. According to police there, they are seeing an uptick in the number of rental scams, leaving some people stranded without a home or an apartment and out thousands of dollars. Really concerning here. Detective Dan Ogilvie with the Franklin Police Department sitting down with Fox 17 News telling us that more people are falling victim to frauds. when it comes to rental listings. And he says most of the scams that they're seeing are on Facebook Marketplace. So please, beware. They have seen cases of imposters uploading really convincing photos or even ads online for apartments or townhomes for rent. They pose as property owners, they've posed as realtors, and they ask you for money up front for what they claim is a security deposit or an application fee. Then they take your money and leave you high and dry with no place to live. Detective Ogilvy says a lot of people don't even know this is a scam until the minute they go to move in or they show up to get their keys. So to avoid falling victim, he says, look out and beware of sellers who only want to communicate maybe through text or who ask you through an advanced payment.
The B&B for all your flooring needs.
We got you covered!
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Good morning and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. It's 8:40. Turkey hunting season opens this weekend. Now, last year we had about 25,000 hunters in our state bag a bird. The weather this weekend looks really nice.
Fox 17 meteorologist Brent Luna has more on a couple of things that hunters will need to keep in mind as you get out and about looking for the big game.
Well, that's a sound I know some of y'all are anxiously waiting to hear.
To be able to go out there and hear a wild turkey on the roost, it'll just blow your mind. And if you can experience that and share it with somebody, it makes it even better.
And you don't have to wait much longer. Tennessee spring turkey season opens up on Saturday.
It's exciting because you are communicating with that turkey. That turkey wants you to come to him, but you are trying to reverse nature and call him into you. And so it's an exciting time to be in the woods.
There's a few things you need to be mindful of, though. The season limit on wild turkey is 2 bearded birds. Only one of those can be a jake. A jake is a bird with less than a 6-inch beard and less than a 1/2-inch spur. An adult gobbler will have a longer beard than 6 inches, or a spur a 1/2 inch or longer. He's also going to have a tail fan where all the feathers are the same length all the way around, so it makes a perfect oval.
For those who have never turkey hunted, it is impressive to see a full adult male gobbler come in at full strut, and whether you've got a decoy or he's just sneaking through the woods looking for you, it's impressive. And to have one gobble at you within 20 yards, if you've never experienced it, it is something to witness.
The spring turkey season runs until May 26th. For a full list of regulations, you can check out the Tennessee Wildlife website. We'll put a link to that for you on our Fox 17 website. Reporting in Nashville, Brett Luna, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Happy hunting to all of those going out there. Let's take a look at your circular traffic. I-24 at Harding Place, starting to see a bit of a slowdown coming in from the Antioch area. Last check, drive time about an hour coming in from Murfreesboro.
Right now, we've got a live look from the heart of Nashville. That's Geodis Park right there, front and center, where we have a special event coming up where Fox 17 is a sponsor. You can get some bubbly when you go over there. Plus,
there are some pictures coming in of your pets that you have shared with us on this National Pet Day. This is Hudson the Frenchie, sent to us by Richard Lee Barnes. Thank you, Richard.
Aww.
And here's Cookie. He's a guinea pig.
Look.
This picture coming to us from Luann Rich.
Only one. Right now during the Jeep Celebration event, get up to 15% below MSRP on most 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L, and Gladiator models. Hurry, don't miss this great offer.
Welcome back. Get ready for a good time this weekend at the Bourbon and Bubbles Fest, returning for 2024. The testing event taking place this weekend in a new location, Geodis Park.
Ought to be great weather for this event. I mean, picture perfect, which I know is music to the ears of Candace Price, the event coordinator for Bourbon and Bubbles. Candace, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. For anybody who has not been to this event, what's the first thing you'd want them to know?
You know, it is a tasting event where there's all kinds of things. There's bourbon, there's bubbles, there's going to be other wine and spirits. So you get a nice little tasting cup when you walk in, and you'll get to taste from all the different products. But new this year, we have an Iroquois steeplechase fashion show. Our friends at Dillard's in Cool Springs are setting us up. We've got models that'll be showing all kinds of outfits that you might want to wear for steeplechase. We'll have the official Milner hat maker for steeplechase that'll be on site. We have art, we have live music. We've got food trucks, all kinds of fun things that are going to be happening.
Yeah, our host, Fox 17 News' Megan O'Halloran, going to be hosting the fashion show, correct?
She is, and we also have a couple of your other reporters that are going to be modeling as well. So
they're taking the
come
catwalk.
out and see them.
Don't snatch them, for New York Fashion Week or anything like that. We need them here at the station, but we're glad that they're going to be part of this big event. I'm glad you mentioned the food trucks, because I was thinking, all right, if I'm going around tasting at this event, I need snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
absolutely. All of the beverages are included in admission, but the food trucks will have food available for purchase. But for $60 for general admission, $125 for VIP, you get all of the tastings for the beverages. VIP do have some food included as well. But it's going to be a great day, and you mentioned the weather's going to be perfect, so we are thrilled about that.
You can work on your suntan while you're out there, too.
There's your idea right there. Candace, thank you so much for joining us. If you want some more details about this weekend's event at Geodis Park, go to fox17.com. Now, talking about the weather, we're going to chime in now with our code red meteorologist. Hey there, Greg. A fantastic weekend on tap.
Oh, I mean, it could not be better. I'm still waiting on my phone call for the fashion show.
Well, keep waiting.
I'm going to have to keep waiting because I'm about to step in front of the green screen. You're going to know why I'm still waiting. Taking a look here. Taking a look at our curious question. In what year was the first iPhone released? Think back. Think back where you were during these years and when that news broke. 2005, 2006, 2007, or 2008. We'll take a look at the radar. We'll zoom in on some spots we're watching, and then we'll take a look at that curious question answer. Here we are, Hopkinsville and Clarksville, right? Splitting the two of you. You are seeing some decent rainfall. No thunder or lightning with that. No thunder or lightning or even rain in the Nashville area. Everything has been so hit and miss for us here throughout the course of this morning, and most of this has been trending from the bottom of the screen to the top when you're used to seeing the radar back at home from the left to the right side of the screen. So that means we're right in front of an incoming cold front. This is the area we're watching where there have been some showers overnight into this morning. Still some activity, still some cloud cover, which is nice. But this is an area circled right there on your radar where we could end up seeing the possibility of a strong storm or two with some damaging wind a little bit later on this late morning and early afternoon window. But it's not highly likely, which is good. So what year? First iPhone. Mid to late 2000s. Which year was it? 2007. The first iPhone was released. Taking a look, I mentioned incoming cold front for us here. Faster the front moves in, the less likely we are to see anything significant when it comes to that storm potential, but it is there. So we do have a couple of our counties shaded in green here. Marginal risk, category 1 out of 5, lowest category that we do have when it comes to any severe weather. And taking a look at future track. Here we are. Let's watch the late hours of the morning into early afternoon. There's that time frame. We're talking about 11, 12, 1, and 2 o'clock. We could see a few storms that do develop that could be on, again, the windier side with some heavy rainfall. Breezy no matter what throughout the entire day. We're going to have wind gusts averaging between 25 and 30 miles per hour. So it'll be breezy even when it's not raining, and when it is, it's that kind of wind-whipped rain. Taking a look at a high of 65 degrees today, 67 tomorrow. I mentioned the temperature at or above 80 degrees. That's going to happen Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week.
All right, steer clear traffic. Let's get out to I-40 at Broadway. As you make that drive there in the heart of downtown, we're doing really nice so far this morning. No big holdups or tie-ups in either direction out there. We are doing really nicely, and watch out for the pedestrians as they are out and about. You see them crossing the bridge here as you make your way into town. All right, let's go to I-24 Bradley Parkway. We were seeing a bit of a slowdown around Harding a little bit earlier, but it has since cleared up. Overall drive times looking pretty nice as we end our traffic coverage this morning. 33 minutes, still a bit slow down coming in from Mount Juliet, but it's improved greatly. Under an hour coming in from Murfreesboro, 34 minutes. That's about right coming in from Franklin.
Justin, thank you. 8:50 right now, taking a final look at some of the pet pictures you've been sending to us for National Pet Day. Thanks so much, y'all. We love seeing your best shots. This is Lolly and Chance. Thank you so much, Tommy Barber. What beautiful dogs.
And take a look. Chet Thompson says this is his rescue pack. These are Shadow, Penny, Molly, and Freedom. That's a big group of doggos. So cute right there. Also Pearl enjoying The snow.
Oh, Pearl camouflages with the snow a little bit. This picture coming to us from Pamela, and you can submit your pictures anytime. Just head over right now to our Fox Nashville Facebook page. We've got a whole gallery of pictures. Even if you don't have one to submit, but looking at pet pics just makes you smile, head on over there and get a little happy for your Thursday.
Well, just ahead, there is some more controversy that we're talking about.
Think about this. Blue Jays, Cardinals, Orioles. What's missing?
The Andean condor?
No, walnut brain. Pigeons. They'd rather name a team after socks.
To be fair, we're not very athletic.
We are talking about new developments surrounding an endangered child alert out of Knoxville. We are now learning that 3 children are now reportedly missing. Again, this is out of Knoxville, but we are going to show you the photos and ask that if you have any information to go ahead and help police. Take a look at your screen. The TBI says 20-month-old Jayzee Hollins and 4-year-old Joshua Hollins Jr. are missing. Now police believe their oldest son, Raymond McAlpin, is also missing. They could be with their non-custodial mother, Tiara Shelton. She is wanted by the TBI for custodial interference. So if you have any information, maybe you know about their whereabouts, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
And we have an update this morning as police are investigating a deadly crash that we first brought you as breaking news yesterday morning. This is the crash scene just off Metroplex Drive near I-24 at Harding Place. We have learned that a 19-year-old named Kavanta Lane died in this crash. Lane's car veered off I-24, went through the tree line, and landed behind that building. Well, now police say they have video from that area that shows 2 people driving to the scene of the crash twice and leaving. So they want to know who those people are and what they were doing there. That investigation continues this morning.
And now continuing coverage as the Covenant School families, some of them are suing to keep anyone from seeing the shooter's writings, and they've also filed an ethics complaint against a state lawmaker.
Yeah, they are targeting Senator Todd Gardenhire, who's from Chattanooga. He is among people and entities that are suing to make those records public. He's also sponsoring a bill that would keep third parties, like the Covenant parents, from having a say-so in a public records case like this. Arguments in that original lawsuit over getting the writings released, that is set to be heard next week.
And one last check of your forecast for you here. Taking a live look. Yeah, it's gloomy outside. We haven't had much rain in Nashville itself, but we have had showers all over the radar, even a few weak rumbles of some thunder. So we're going to monitor that throughout the morning hours. There's one area we're going to watch very closely late morning and early afternoon. That's going to be east of I-65 and north of I-40. There could be a few storms that get a little bit stronger. Not necessarily severe weather, but some gusty wind can't be ruled out in a couple of those as a cold front moves through. 60s all day long, but don't worry, the warm times are coming. The afternoons are going to be so nice on Saturday and Sunday. Upper 70s, right near 80 degrees, a little breeze. Nighttime temperatures won't drop below 60 degrees going into next week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, a little unsettled. There'll be some storms each day, but they'll still be warm days. So finding those times that are dry to be outside when it's 82.
.com for this exclusive offer.
Unfortunately for me, eye trauma is a fairly common part of small animal general practice, and eye injury first aid is an important topic to cover for my pet owners. Signs that might indicate eye trauma include squinting, redness, discharge, as well as any witnessed trauma, or if your pet's eyeball has proptosed or popped out of the socket. If your pet's eye is popped out of its socket, do not try and press it back in. Instead, use a moist compress and contact solution or plain lubricating jelly to keep the eye moist. If you're